William Tilson. Line judge is Jack Roberts. The back judge, William Kingslett. Field judge, Raymond Curry. And the alternate is Charles Reed. We'll introduce the starting offensive lineup for you for Ohio State, first of all. At an end is Fred Puggett. He's a 6'1", 212-pound senior from Ritchie-Ville, Pennsylvania. At a tackle, Kurt Schumacher, 6'4", 248-pound junior from Lorain, Ohio. At a guard, Jim Kriegel, 6'2", 236-pound senior from Toledo. At center, Steve Myers, 6'2", 244-pound junior from Kent, Ohio. At a guard, Dick Mack, 5'11", 215-pound junior from Bucyrus, Ohio. John Hicks, everybody's consensus All-American and the number 2 man in the voting for the Heisman Trophy. 6'3", 252-pound senior from Cleveland. At the other end, Dave Hazel from Xenia, Ohio, 6'1", 190-pound senior. In the backfield for the Ohio State Buckeyes, Cornelius Green, 6-foot sophomore, 172-pounder from Washington, D.C. At the fullback spot, Bruce Eliot, 6'1", 214-pound junior from Cliffside Park, New Jersey. The running back, Archie Griffin, 5'9", 182-pound sophomore from Columbus. The other running back, Brian Bassnagel, 6 foot, 190-pound sophomore from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. For the Trojans on offense, it'll be John McKay, 5'11 junior from Covina at the split end. Steve Riley, a 6'5 senior from Chula Vista at 1 tackle. Hooker Brown, 6'3", 265-pound senior All-American tackle from Santa Barbara. At the guard, Bill Bain, 6'4", 247-pound junior from Pico Rivera. And Mike Cordell, a 6'3", 246-pound sophomore from Long Beach. At center, Bob McCaffrey, 6'2", 238-pound junior from Bakersfield. In the backfield for the Trojans, Pat Hayden, 5'11 junior quarterback from Covina. At fullback, Manny Moore, 6 foot, 187-pound senior from San Fernando. At the running back, Anthony Davis, 5'9", 190-pound junior from San Fernando. And the flanker will be Lynn Swan, 6 foot, 175-pound senior from San Mateo, California. We will have the flip of the coin and determine who will receive and who will kick off, and we'll be back for the opening kickoff from the Rose Bowl in 1 minute.
We call her Mean Mary Jean, superstar of our team. Bum, bum, Mean Mary Jean, superstar of our team. You're our Chrysler Plymouth girl. Tell 'em what we mean.
Hi, this is Mean Mary Jean. You know, I'm trying to figure out why Mustang 2 is priced higher than my Plymouth Duster.
Tell 'em Mary Jean.
Okay, fellas. What I mean is, it can't be the room, because my Duster holds more people than Mustang 2. And it can't be the trunk, because my Duster's almost 3 times bigger. Know what I mean?
We know what you mean.
Now, my Duster hardly ever needs an ignition tune-up, and it's still priced lower than Mustang 2. Yes, that's what separates superstars from other cars. You know what I mean.
Now that you said Jean, Mary Jean, you know what we mean.
The co-captains are ready to go out to the center of the field, meet the officials, and have the ceremonial coin flip. For the Ohio State Buckeyes, they're sending 4 co-captains out. It'll be John Hicks, the starting tackle, and everybody's All-American, along with Greg Hare, the senior quarterback. And from the defensive unit for the Buckeyes, co-captains will be Rick Middleton, number 32, and back to the offense again, and it'll be Fred Puggett, number 80, one of the Ohio State ends. For the Trojans, 2 seniors as co-captains, Lynn Swan, everybody's All-America flanker, who caught 6 passes in this Rose Bowl against Ohio State a year ago, one of those good for a touchdown, and his dramatic 3rd and 17 reception in a crucial part of the ball game a year ago was termed by Coach Woody Hayes as the one turning point in the football game that gave the Trojans that convincing 42-17 victory. The other co-captain for the Trojans is Artemus Parker, the safety man for SC, who leads the Trojans in interceptions, although the SC defensive secondary may not be tested too much in the passing department this afternoon from the Buckeyes of Ohio State. Throwing the football has not been their bent throughout the 1973 season as they rolled to a record of 9 victories and but 1 tie. The Trojans were a football team that suffered a great deal in 73 by comparison to the 72 team that really will probably rank as one of the nation's finest college football teams as historians come to view the past 10 or 15 years of college football. Coin toss, and University of Southern California has won the toss and has elected to receive. Ohio State will kick off and go on defense. We will pause 10 seconds for station identification.
This is WMAQ, home of the Clark Weber Show, where your friends are every afternoon from 2 to 6 on NBC. It's 4 o'clock.
So on a cool, in fact, cold and very overcast day, this January 1, 1974, the Rose Bowl game is about to begin. The University of Southern California will receive Ohio State with a last-second enthusiastic, emotional burst around their coach, Woody Hayes, assumes the position to kick off, and the Trojans will receive, and to set the lineup for you on the receiving men, almost for sure to be Anthony Davis as the deep man for the Trojans. We'll give you the voice of the Ohio State Buckeyes, Tom Hamlin. Tom?
Thank you, Tom. It is 57 degrees, and I was talking to Coach John McKay before the game, and they were hoping the Buckeyes would have a typical warm Southern California day in the 80s, and this weather's more like Buckeye weather. Kicking off for Ohio State will be Blair Conway, and back to receive it, Anthony Davis on one side of the field, and it looks like it's going to be perhaps Manfred Moore on the other. Back, Alan Carter, Ohio State wearing silver helmets, silver pants, scarlet jerseys, and it's the Cardinal helmets, gold trousers, and the white jerseys of Southern Cal. Ohio State kicking off with their back to the south. Conway throws it high. It's going to be a short kick coming down about the 15, taken by Carter on the 20, cuts the middle of the field, the 25 and the 30, over the 30, and down he goes, and the Rose Bowl is underway. And it'll be on the 32-yard line, and making the hit for Ohio State, Ted Smith. 20-yard return on that, and so it's going to be first down and 10 for the Southern Cal Trojans. They'll have the ball on their 32-yard line. It'll be Pat Hayden at quarterback for Southern Cal, Anthony Davis the deep back, Manfred Moore will be the fullback, Lynn Slaw on the flanker, John McKay at one end, and Jim Obradovich the other. Already flanked out is McKay. Ready for the first play of the Rose Bowl. Back to pass is Hayden, throwing to McKay. It's complete on the 40, over the 40, and out of bounds. So the Trojans who said they were going to come out throwing have, and they have gone 9 yards on that play, very close to a first down. Neil Colby made the stop on the wide side of the field. But Pat Hayden, who passed for 1,603 yards, hit John McKay. The coach is down with the first play of the game, and it's up on the 41. And it's second down and 9. Hooker Brown is at left tackle. Steve Riley at right for the Trojans. Mike Cordell is the left guard. Bill Bain the right guard. Bob McCaffrey is centering it back to quarterback Pat Hayden. We'll set the Ohio defense in just a moment. Opening play of the 1974 Rose Bowl. Gray is now in at fullback. Deep is Anthony Davis. Snap the ball. Davis gets the call, goes to the 45, and gets the first down. And we have the Trojans moving the opening kickoff from the 32. And now 3 plays, they are first down and 10, and they have the ball just over the 45. Vic Cagle of Cincinnati made the tackle for Ohio State. Here are the Buckeyes defensive line. Van de Cree at left end, Jim Cope at right, Arnie Jones and Pete Cusick are the tackles. Vic Cagle, Randy Granishire, and Rick Middleton are the linebackers. Neil Posey, Steve Luke, Rick Parsons, and Tim Fox are the backs. Moore is now in a tailback, whether it's fullback. Deep is Anthony Davis. It's first and 10 on their own 45. Pitch out to Davis, trying to swing left. Tries to cut to the inside. He's going to be dropped to a loss from about the 43. Hitting him with Neil Colson. So, Tom, were you surprised to see Pat Hayden throw on the first play of the game for the Trojans?
Not at all, Tom Hamlin. It's a typical ploy of Coach John McKay. He's done it many times in the past season. Feels that everybody fully expects the quarterback to give it to a running back on the first play, and that bit of a psychological edge. He loves to have it. He's done it many times.
We played just a minute and 10. It's 2nd and 11 for the Trojans on their own 44. Breaking the huddle. Lynn Swan comes wide to the right side of the field. McKay split out to the left. In motion now is McNeil. He's in. Back to pass is Hayden. 3 men going deep. Throws over the middle of the foot. And Obradovich over the 50. Down to the 45 and inside the Ohio State territory. He gets to the 42-yard line, and this crowd of Southern Cal fans begins to roar. So Hayden now is 2 for 2 in passing, and that's a 14-yard gain. Now, Southern Cal said they thought the Ohio State secondary maybe hadn't been tested enough. Although the Buckeyes were fifth in the nation in pass defense, everybody tried to run on them, and now Hayden has come out prosper. Anthony Davis back in and tailback. Southern Cal first down and 10. And they're lined up on the 42-yard line. Snap of the ball. Hayden drops back again. Two men going to the left side of the field. Intended for Swan. Slightly overthrown and out of bounds on the 30.
That incompletion to Swan is something you'll not see much of. Swan had a good shot at that ball. It might have been thrown a shade high, but Swan could have had that. And, of course, he needs but one reception to be the all-time leading pass receiver in USC history. He has 91, needs one more. And, frankly, having watched him play for the past 3 years, I'm almost embarrassed that he didn't catch that, Tom Hamlin. He would have had that on any other given day, I'm sure.
I know he scares the Ohio State secondary just completely frightening. All right, he breaks the huddle. Second down and 10, Southern Cal on their own 42. Swan wide to the right. McNeil's now in at tailback. Goes in motion to his right. Back to pass is Hayden. Three men going deep. He's looking to the sidelines. It is incomplete for Manfred Moore and hit a dazzling blow by Jim Cope just as the ball hit the intended receiver on the 40-yard line. And now the Buckeyes have Southern Cal on a 3rd and 10 on their own 42. The Buckeye 42. Southern Cal took the opening kickoff from the 32, and they've moved to the Buckeye 42. All right, Coach John McKay has put in his All-American tailback, Anthony Davis, back in. Anthony with 1,038 yards this year is 16th in the nation in scoring. I don't think anyone will ever forget those 6 touchdowns in one game a year ago against Notre Dame. Made him just nationally prominent. Swan is the wing to the right. Split out to the left is McKay. Back to pass is Hayden. Looking to the left, throwing deep. It is complete to the 25-yard line. To John McKay, and the Trojans are down here knocking on the 25-yard line, first down.
I think it's a great tribute to both Hayden and McKay that everybody in the building knew that it was going to be a passing situation with 3rd and 10 on the 42. And these two young men who've literally grown up together, all through grade school and high school at Bishop Ahmad in Covina, were able to pull that one off, and they seem to know where each is going and what the other is going to do almost before they realize it themselves. Beautiful completion.
All right, Rod McNeil, the 200-pounder is back in at tailback. Anthony Davis is out. Pat Hayden is your quarterback. Brings the team out. He's got McKay split wide to the right. 1st and 10 on the Ohio State 25, and the flag goes down. The Trojans took a little too much time in deciding that one, and it'll move the ball back to the 30-yard line, Ohio State 30. But the Trojans still down there knocking first down and 15, and the ball's back on the 30. It's on the eastern side hash mark, so the wide open side of the field is to Southern Cal's right. Ohio State's great defensive team of Van DeCree, Neil Colsey, and Randy Gradishar always flip to the wide side of the field. So whenever the ball's on a hash marker, Ohio State's twist defenders will be on the opposite side, the wide side covering. Southern Cal now. 1st and 15 on the Ohio State 30. Davis in at tailback. McKay wide to the right. Hayden back to pass, cocking his arm, throwing to McKay to the end zone. It is way over incomplete. Down there defending with him was Tim Fox, but the ball was actually overthrown, and now it's 2nd down and 15. Southern Cal on their 30 in the opening moments of this Rose Bowl. 12:45 left in the first period, and we anticipated a lot of fireworks, Tom Kelly, and we're getting it right off the bat.
Well, the Trojans certainly play a wide-open brand of football. They've got it in the air more than they have it on the ground, and I think that is largely due in part to this tremendous Ohio State defensive line of DeCree and Jones and Cagle and Cusick and Cope and Gradishar and Middleton, the up-close linebackers. They're tough to move against.
All right, McKay comes out of the huddle. Bob McCaffrey center goes over the ball. Lynn Swan splits wide to the right. Hayden dropping back. 3 men going deep. Crisscrossing. Swan tipped up. Incomplete. Almost a tipped-up interception by Neil Cozy. It hit Swan on the hands on the 20-yard line. He'd almost needed a step ladder to pull that one down. So now the Trojans are down to a 3rd and 15 on the Ohio State 30. They took the opening kickoff on the 32, and they've driven down here in threatening territory. And Pat Hayden, the man that John McKay calls the most complete passer he's ever had, is giving the Buckeye secondary a very good workout in the early moments of this game. We've only played 3 minutes and about 21 seconds. Anthony Davis back in the tailback. Spread formation. McKay to the left, the Swan to the right. In motion now goes Anthony Davis back to pass, dropping his Hayden back to his 42. Throwing on the run, it is Swan is knocked loose from the ball on the 22. A hit by Neil Posey, and it's incomplete, and now it's first down and 15. And Tom Kelly, do you think the field goal unit will come on for Southern Cal?
Well, I think they've got to bring in Chris Lemahelu to try for the three. I see him coming in now. I couldn't help but notice down there that Anthony Davis, who'd gone in motion and swung down the sideline, was literally all alone at about the 5-yard line, and Hayden overlooked him going for Swan, and here's Lemahelu to try from 37 yards. He can hit it from that distance, Tom Hamlin, but it'll be tough for him.
All right, he's hit so far. He kicks the ball, and it is high to the right. Is it good? It is good. Just barely crossed the crossbar. It is a 47-yard field goal. And there's time out on the field with a score. Southern California 3, Ohio State nothing. Southern Cal went 68 yards in 11 plays, capped by Chris Lemaheu's fine 47-yard field goal, which is a career record for him. And now Brad Rice will kick off, freshman for Southern Cal. Ohio State has Archie Griffin in the middle of the field and about the 3. Brian Bashnagel's up on the 9. And Morris Bradshaw sprint stars up on the 10. Ohio State's not touched the ball yet. We have 12:27 to play in the first quarter. This is a short kick on the 15 to Archie Griffin. Swings to the right to the 20. Trying to get around the corner on the 30. Pinned in on the sideline and out of bounds as he crosses the 30 and moves up over the 31-yard line. So the Buckeyes will have the ball for the first time this afternoon. First and 10 on their own 31, and Sonny Randall pushed him out of bounds.
Tom, I couldn't help but feel the excitement, and I felt some of it myself. It emanated from the crowd of over 100,000 when Griffin took that kick off and started up the middle and cut to the sidelines. He's an electrifying-looking football player, and this crowd is just sitting in eager anticipation. Some of them are wondering what he's going to do the next time he gets the ball.
Cornelius Green at the quarterback, Griffin the tailback, Bruce Elia the fullback, Bashnagel the wingback. Ohio State's first running play on the 31. Long count by Green. One to throw, chops his arm, runs it, and gets up to the 34-yard line. I don't know if he intended to throw or not. He cocked the arm. It might have been just a quarterback draw. But Woody Hayes, not noted for his passing, averaging 9 a game, at least had the quarterback threatening with a gesture in that first play. The hit made in here by Doris and Jeter. Jeter, a freshman from Cleveland, Ohio, 6'5", 250, who says his idol is Ohio State All-American tackle John Hicks, the Outland Trophy winner. The Buckeyes now are second down and 7. They have the ball in the 34. In motion, Bashnagel to the left. Green with a kick. Handing the short man Ely up the middle, gets some room, moves over to 35, and gets out very near the 39-yard line. Gain of about 5 on the play, and the Buckeyes, third down and 2, and they're up on their own 39-yard line. But Southern California leading in this Rose Bowl, 3-0, and we have 11:29 to play. Jim Sims, and once again, Jeter in on the tackles. The Buckeyes tried to ram that ball right up the middle. Woody Hayes' team this year rushed for 3,588 yards, the school record, and the team was just tough, averaging 353 yards a game on the ground. Bashnagel a wing to the right. Center is Steve Myers over the ball. Green throwing. It is intercepted. Play in the backfield on the 45 with the 50. Reese has the ball. He's on the 40. He's trying to reverse the steal. Back on the 50, still on his feet, and finally driven down on the 41. So the first passing play by Ohio State's Cornelius Green is intercepted. And that is the 7th interception of the season. And Woody Hayes dislikes the interception. That's why he doesn't pass. So he turns 14 yards. And that's the 8th interception for Reese. So the Trojans, leading by the score of 3-0, have the ball again in wide open throttle territory. First down on the Ohio State 41. And it's Pat Hayden, Anthony Davis, Manfred Moore, and Lynn Swan in. They're leading 3-0 wide side of the field to left. Hayden dropping the pass. 2 men going deep. Throws out here to Swan. A diving reception. He's got it on the 39 of Ohio State, and there is the career record for USC.
It is indeed Tom Hamlin, although not a big gainer, down to about the 38, maybe the 39. For Lynn Swan, it sets him alone in USC record books with 92 career receptions at the University of Southern California. And the man he went by, Rod Sherman, was certainly a brilliant performer at SC. Swan has been every bit that and more. 92 career receptions.
All right, Ohio State fourth in the nation of defense, being tested right now, and Southern Cal throwing all the hardware at them. McNeil in motion out to the right. Hayden gives off Manson Moore. Committed a big hole over the 35 on the 30. Gets down inside to about the 25, and there he's met by a roused Buckeye, but not until he penetrated for a first down on the Ohio State 26. Steve Luke from Maston, Ohio, made the Ohio State tackle, but with a varied attack, the Trojans are on the march, leading 3-0. 10:07 to go in the first period, and Southern Cal has the ball on the Ohio State 26-yard line. First down. Anthony Davis back in at tailback. He and Rod McNeil have been alternate almost every play. Bob McCaffrey breaks the huddle, goes over the ball. McKay wide to the right, Swan to the left. Hayden giving off to Davis. This time hit at the line of scrimmage, and he might have squeezed out a yard, but he went to the right side, and Pete Cusick of Lakewood, Ohio, 252-pound Buckeye tackle, made the stop. They gave no gain on the play. Second down and still 10. Southern California and the Ohio State 26. So now Rod McNeil alternates, comes back in at the deep back position. Anthony Davis goes out. Pat Hayden still quarterbacking it from West Covina here in Los Angeles. The junior who came out throwing, and he has 3-0 lead. 9:19 to go in the first period. Hayden back to pass. 3 men going deep, throwing, but may run it this time. He's in trouble, and he's going to be dropped for a loss on the 30-yard line. The receiver's well covered, but he had touchdown in his mind because he had McKay going deep on one side, Obradovich on the other, and finally Arnie Jones, the Dayton junior, 235-pounder, smothered him on the 30-yard line. Lost the 4. Third down now, 14 to Southern Cal, and the ball right on the 30-yard line. The wide side of the field will be Southern Cal's right. They're wearing those Cardinal helmets, white jerseys, gold pants. They are the visitor today. Ohio State, silver helmets, silver jerseys, and for the silver pants, scarlet jerseys, the host team, wearing the home uniform. Swan wide to the right. Hayden on a 3rd and 14. Back to pass, throwing to Swan. A diving attempt, underthrown, and went beyond him. Neil Posey was there, incomplete on the 24-yard line. So now Southern Cal is 4th down and 14 on the 30. And once again, the field goal kicking unit comes in. Rod Adolph will hold. Mahalia will kick. First down, 4 for Southern California, nothing for Ohio State. Lee Mahalia just dumped one for 47 yards. This one will be spotted on the 37. This would be another 47-yarder, counting the 10 yards in the end zone. McCaffrey's down. There's the charge. The team. There's the kick. It's got good distance. It is going to be short. Goes into the end zone, and it is incomplete, and Ohio State has stopped the drive, and they will take over on down on their own 20. But Southern California leading the Buckeyes in the 60th Rose Bowl by the score of 3-0. With time out on the field, the score: Southern California 3, Ohio State 0.
Today's family car can build up more engine heat than a racing car going 3 times as fast. Heavy loads, turnpike speeds, and the power equipment in today's cars build up severe heat that may rob your motor oil of its full power to protect your engine. The
your peace of mind, be sure to use only a premium quality oil like Quaker State. It's refined from 100% pure Pennsylvania-grade crude oil to fight today's heat. For your peace of mind, specify Quaker State.
Motorists, when your car engine is cold, quick starts help you conserve gas. Heat Gasline Antifreeze is a gasoline treatment which improves combustion and prevents gasline freeze-ups. Heat helps keep your engine in tune. Heat helps to extend gasoline mileage. Heat prevents formation of power-robbing carbon. Add heat. Start quickly on the coldest days. Prevent gasline freeze-ups and conserve precious gasoline. Buy Heat Gasline Antifreeze today. Save gas. Add heat. H-E-E-T, heat.
Ohio State first and 10 on their own 20. They have Pete Johnson, a freshman, in the fullback. Archie Griffin is the tailback. Snap of the ball. Griffin gets the give. Slices off tackle. Breaks over the 25. Going straight ahead and picked up just about 6 yards on this carry. Tom, some interesting statistics on possessions of the ball so far in this first period.
So far, Tom, Hamlin, USC had the ball for 17 offensive plays. The one just run by Griffin was the 4th for the Ohio State Buckeyes. And yet the Trojans, in 5 tries, have picked up only 11 yards rushing. Ohio State's defense is formidable against the rush. SC has been going through the air mostly.
All right, Archie Griffin is in tailback, and motion is Bashnagel. Green is over the ball. Snap of the ball. Gives to Griffin. Tries the middle. Finds a hole. Gets the first down. Moves over the 30 and plants it on the 32-yard line as he went straight ahead right up the 7-count middle until he ran into Jim Sims and Artemus Parker. And that's Ohio State's first down. The Trojans have 4, Ohio State 1, and the Trojans leading 3-0. 7:40 to go here in the first quarter. And the traditional dog is now on the field, but he's on the sidelines right now with the Buckeye cheerleaders. Looks like a little wire-haired terrier type, and he's really having fun. Crowd's enjoying it, laughing just a bit. David Hazel now let it split in. He splits to the left. Ohio State's first and 10 on their own 32. In motion is Bashnagel. Green waits to snap the ball, gets it. Cocks his arm, throws, complete the puzzle to tie it in on the 45, over the 50 and down to Southern California territory to the 46-yard line. Jim Sims made the tackle, but Fred Puckey, a senior from Richardville, Pennsylvania, got 21 yards on that reception.
Tom Hamlin, I would have bet we wouldn't have seen Green put it in the air again after his initial attempt was intercepted. Woody Hayes, I think, is one of the coaches that go along with when you throw it, 2 things can go bad, and one of them is you don't catch it, and the other is you get intercepted. But Green came right back. Very well done.
Blank formation to the right, first and 10 Ohio State on the 46 to Southern Cal. Bashnagel in motion, running the ball up the middle. Big fullback, and it's Johnson on the play, and gets over the 40, and inside the 40 moves down to about the 36-yard line. And once again, linebacker, defensive end, whatever you call him, Jim Sims made the tackle. And in the Southern California lineup, Sims would be a defensive end in most of the lineups, but John McKay says, I call my defensive ends what they should be, linebackers. Here's Ohio State now, second down and just 1 to go. They have the ball in the Southern Cal 36, trailing 3-0. Green pitching out to Griffin. Gets some penetration. He's still on his feet. He's going to be thrown for a loss, though, as a roused white Trojan jerseys hit on him. And this time, Archie Griffin, the Ohio State premier back, had that play diagnosed before he got going. They take it back to about the original line of scrimmage. And he was lucky to get there, I'll tell you. Loss of about a yard, they say. Third down and 2, Ohio State. It's on the 37. Charlie Anthony made the tackle. 5:52 left to go in the opening period of this Rose Bowl. Chilly day, almost reminiscent of Midwestern weather. 57 degrees, wind about 5 miles per hour. Overcast skies as the Buckeyes go up the line of scrimmage. Over the ball is Myers. Hand off to Griffin, trying the middle, wants to get that 2 yards, gets inside the 35, and I believe he got the first down by about a half yard. And he does, and the Buckeye fans below us with those crimson and white and gray shakers shake them in the air, signifying a Buckeye first down. Monty Doris hit on the tackle.
Tom Hamlin, Schumacher, Kriegel, Myers, Mack, and Hicks are doing yeoman service up front. That Ohio State Buckeye line is really moving the Trojans back on defense. And with Griffin carrying the ball, exciting football game.
5:18 to go in the period. Buckeyes first and 10 on the Southern Cal 34. Griffin once again getting the call. They're ready for him, and The great back from Columbus, Ohio, gets down to the 32-yard line, just 2 yards, and then Monty Doris led the charge and brought him down. Second down, and 8 Ohio State on the Trojan 32. Southern California leading 3-0 on Krista Lima-Haley's 47-yard field goal. He tried another, unsuccessful. That's the state of this game right now. Buckeyes having the ball with their second possession. David Hazelton split in. The center Myers goes over the ball. Deep in the back is Archie Griffin. And off Pete Johnson, the fullback, plunges to about the 25-yard line. And there's a young man who was brought up in Georgia, now lives in Long Beach, New York, and a freshman. Here he is playing in the Rose Bowl, and he's a 227-pounder. And Johnson has just made 3 great blocks also, and now he's running the ball. As Richard Wood made the tackle, the ball is now on the 26, and it's 3rd down and 1. Ohio State driving in the Southern Cal 26 right in the middle of the field. Southern California on top, 3-0. Bashnagel, a wing to the left. Hazel split out. Bashnagel in motion to the right. Green awaits the ball, gets the snap, takes the pitch out, gives to Johnson himself, and the big fullback lumbers over the 25 and moves to about the 24. And Tom Kelly, this might be awfully close to a measurement.
I think he's got the first down, and I was interested in the line play. Both Jeter and Richard Wood and Joris had a hold of Johnson, and yet as big as he is, he found a small crack in the defense and slipped through, and he's down to about nose up to the 23, and it's the first down Buckeye.
Ohio State's open field is to the left. Bashnagel and Hazel wing to the post side of the field to the right. In motion is Bashnagel, waiting the snap of the ball. As Cornelius Green gets it, tries the fullback Johnson, just slams straight ahead on the power eye and gets to the 20-yard line, short yardage. Down here, Woody Hayes may go to what they call the full house backfield with the 3 backs all set side by side. He calls that his robust formation. And then the split in comes out, the tight ends go in, and they just smash straight ahead, tank style. Anthony on the hit for Southern California. Buckeyes, 2nd down and 3, have the ball in the 20, and looks like right now there is a timeout on the field here in the Rose Bowl with the score, Southern California 3, Ohio State Buckeyes 0.
We call her mean Mary Jean, superstar of our team. Bum, bum, mean Mary Jean, superstar of our team. You're our Chrysler Plymouth girl. Tell 'em what we mean.
Hi. Oh, me, Mary Jean here. Matching my Plymouth Duster against Pinto and Vega. Gonna dust them off.
Tell 'em Mary Jean.
Sure will. I'll tell them how my Superstar Duster holds a whole extra person more than Pinto or Vega. And the trunk's bigger than both of theirs put together. And talk about easy to drive. I mean...
We know what you mean.
Duster runs on regular gas. Hardly ever needs an ignition tune-up. It's just a whole lot more car than Pinto or Vega. A superstar car. Know what I mean?
Now that you've met Jean, Mary Jean, you know what we mean.
Trojans lead 3-0 in this football game, and Chris Lima-Haley's 47-yard field goal was the second longest in Rose Bowl history. The longest one, 48 yards, by Steve Horowitz at Stanford and against Ohio State in 71.
Here's Ohio State's 2nd down now, 7 to go on the Southern California 21-yard line. Bashnagel in motion, snap of the ball back. Green gives it up the middle, and let's see who had it. Was it Griffin or Johnson? I got faked on that, and it was Johnson carrying the freshman on a beautiful fake. Slammed about a yard, got inside the 20 and nosed at about the Trojan 19-yard line. And once again, the Trojans' great nose guard, Monty Doris, 242-pounder, made the stop on that. He's from Fresno, California. Monty has earned 3 letters. Ohio State now puts in Bruce Elia at fullback. Johnson goes out. Elia's the better blocker of the two. So the Buckeyes may be trying some wide stuff right here with Griffin in mind. So timeout on the field here at the moment. Talking over strategy, the Buckeyes leading in this contest. And Tom Kelly, you've been close to the Southern California coaches. What do they expect out of the Ohio State game plan?
Well, I think that they feel that Ohio State is going to do just what they are doing. I think the first pass might have been as big a surprise to the Trojans as perhaps Hayden's first aerial effort was to the Buckeyes. I think the second attempt by Green was even more surprising. I think they fully expected that Ohio State would do just what Ohio State is doing, put it on the ground and run it right up the middle with the great back Griffin and, of course, some exceptionally fine running by Johnson, the fullback. To get back to Lima Halu's field goal for a moment, Tom, was the longest field goal in SC history. It broke an old mark of 45 yards set by Courtney Jesus in 1909 in a game with Occidental College 3-3. That should keep all the nostalgia buffs happy. We want you to stay tuned to your NBC station for the Orange Bowl game. It'll follow this broadcast immediately. Tom Hamlin?
It's third down and 6, Ohio State in the 7, Cal 19. Trojans leading 3-0. Buckeyes trying to go for at least the equalizer, if not to go ahead. Green back to pass. Has it tipped up, and it's incomplete. Very close to being intercepted. He had a good rush put on him by Monty Doris, who hit his passing arm, and that ball just splintered away, and the Buckeyes are lucky not at all to have an interception. So right now, Cornelius Green is 1 out of 3 for passing. He's completed 1, had 1 intercepted, and now 1 incomplete. Blair Conway is in. 4th down and 6 to Ohio State on the 19. He'll try the field goal. He has completed 5 out of 10, 41 out of 50 on extra points, and he's good inside the 30. Bassnagel will hold. It'll be spotted on the 27-yard line. It'll be a 37-yard kick from right to left angle. Well, there's the snap and the kick. It is long enough. It is high enough. It is no good. It is wide, but there's a flag down on the flag. Tom Kelly, let's see what happens with the flag.
Flag on the field, Tom Hamlin. The kick was not good. Flag on the play. SC offside on the field goal attempt by Ohio State. 5-yard pickup. Going to move the ball inside the SC 15 at about the 14.5-yard line. And it's going to be 4th down now, and just about 1.5 yards to go for Ohio State. Now, what will the Buckeyes do?
I think you have to go for it now. It's early in the game. USC leading 3-0, and they're going to. Now they go to the robust backfield straight T. Pete Johnson's in. Crowd begins to roar. Ohio State needs a yard. Southern Cal digs in. It's Griffin up and over the top, and I don't know. He went flying up and over the top, the Trojan submarine below, and if he got a yard, he did it by flying. And right now, for the nation of Tom, let's just see how close it is.
It's going to be awfully close, Tom Hamlin. I think the crowd, one way or the other, will let us know. There's a tremendous number of Buckeye rooters right below our broadcasting booth here on the west side of the Rose Bowl. And if Griffin did indeed get the 1.5 yards he needed, and it looks as though he might have by just an inch or two, yes. Well, here are the Buckeye fans. They'll let you know.
Ohio State 5, Southern California 4, but with 2:34 to go in the first quarter of the Rose Bowl. Southern California leading 3-0. The Buckeyes on one of these long, grinding back drives that started on their 20. And they break the huddle. David Hazel's in it, split in. The center, Steve Myers, was over the ball, and the Buckeyes in business. 1st down and 10 on the Southern Cal 13. Griffin up the middle of 5, close to 5, inside the 10, and brought down on the 8-yard line. Straight ahead, quick opener before Jimmy Sims picked him up. All right, Ohio State with a serious threat now has moved the ball to the Southern California 8-yard line, and it's 2nd down. Right in front of the goalpost. Southern California leading 3-0. The only common opponent was Washington State. Ohio State beat the Cougars 27-3, and the Cougars and Southern California teamed up in a 46-35 game won by Southern California. And the Buckeyes want to talk this situation over here. Southern California leading 3-0, and right now I would say that time is absolutely no problem, but the Buckeyes have a long, grinding drive, and I'll tell you, Tom Kelly, they always say it's hard to go 80 yards without 1, having a broken play, 2, a fumble, or 3, a serious penalty. So let's see what happens.
Well, you've got to have a couple of breaks along the way, no question about it. It's been a very fine drive from the Buckeye 20 following the missed field goal attempt by Lee Mahalu. The Buckeyes have marched down the field in 15 plays, the costly one to be sure against the Trojans, the offside. As Ohio State went for 3 to get a tie. The field goal attempt was no good, but the offside gave the Buckeyes new life. And now they've got it on the Trojan 8 with a 2nd and 5 and just 8 yards away from going ahead. Remember the date, January 28th. The National Football League Bowl game will be on your favorite NBC station. Here's the Buckeyes, and they are deep and threatening.
Southern Cal practically an 8-man line digs in. Ohio State 2nd and 5 on the Southern California 8. There's a handoff. Johnson hammers inside the 5 and slices very near that 3-yard line. The big freshman fullback from Long Beach, New York, slamming straight ahead. And he's going to be down there close to the marker. He's outside the 3. The chains might come in. And the officials are going to bring them in once again to see whether he had enough for the first down or not. So, Tom, you call the distance of the tape.
Well, I don't know about that. I'll wait for a second, but I'm going to tell you that John Hicks' credentials were never more evident than when he led that Buckeye charge with Johnson carrying the ball and with Kriegel helping out on a trap. Hicks and Kriegel really opened up a hole for Johnson, and Richard Wood, who was no small customer at the linebacker spot for the Trojans, literally was carried by Johnson about 3 yards. It's not a first down, just inches.
Ohio State lines up. Southern California digs in. Practically 8 men on the line of scrimmage. Tackle Kurt Schumacher calls for silence. Cornelius Green goes over the ball. Buckeyes in a straight house backfield. It is the fullback down near the goal line. It's Johnson. He did not get in, but he got enough with that first down. And Ohio State will have the ball. 1st and goal inside the 2 and 4 chances to do it. Richard Wood, the fine Southern Cal linebacker, made the hit. And this is Ohio State's 6th first down, and just a grinding drive that started on their own 20. Southern California leading 3-0. Minute 10 to go in this road. Both clocks running. Cornelius Green has him down on the 1.5. Waits for the snap of the ball. Gets him, and it's Johnson, and he is contained. Still fighting and battling at the line. I believe pushed back. And the headlinesman marks it just about 1.5 feet outside of the goal line. They're unpiling them slowly. Tangle of scarlet jerseys, white jerseys, and cardinal helmets. And they will mark the ball a foot inside the 1. So Ohio State, roughly, the foot here is about 24 inches away. Seamus Parker comes up closely on the line of scrimmage. The white jerseys that dig in. Ohio State now is goal to go on the 1-yard line. Green has them down this time. Just Johnson hammers in. The Buckeyes are on the scoreboard. An 80-yard drive, an 18 plays, capped by the running of Pete Johnson, who took it in. And Ohio State now leads Southern California 6-3, and we have 25 seconds remaining on the scoreboard clock here in the first period of the Rose Bowl. Blair Conway, the smallest man on the Buckeye squad, will try the extra point. He's 5'7". He's hit 41 of 50, and Brian Baschnagel will hold. Steve Straka in to snap it. There's the kick. It is high enough, and it's like a 9-iron chip. The referee signifies it is good, and Ohio State takes a 7-3 lead. And now we'll pause 10 seconds for station identification.
This is WMAQ NBC, home of the Joel Sebastian Show, heard each day from 10 until 2 on Q, where your friends are.
Down below, the famous Buckeye marching band with a happy song. Let's pick it up a minute. Drive, 6 first down, 16 of 18 plays. The Buckeyes had 1 pass completion, and then he grounded out the rest of the way. Anthony Davis and Alan Carter are deep. Blair Conway will kick off from the hash marker on the east side of the field, runs forward, throws the ball fairly deep. It comes down to about the 3, and it's taken to Davis on the 1, on the 5, on the 10, straight up on the 15, on the 20, over the 20, and runs into a rout Buckeye tacklers, and he is dropped as he crosses the 20 up on about the 23-yard line. So Southern California now down 7-3, but with an open throttle offense, sends Pat Hayden into quarterback, and the Buckeyes with that 7-3 lead puts in that great defensive unit, which really was tested by Michigan in a 10-10 tie, and Southern California, who lost only to Notre Dame and was tied by great running Oklahoma, out here battling. And it's a great match in the Rose Bowl this afternoon. The Pacific 8 champion Southern Cal, Big Ten co-champion Ohio State. Pat Hayden, pitching out to Anthony Davis, circles the 20 on the short side of the field, handled extremely rough and dropped down. He might have made a yard gain from the 22 to about the 23. Pete Cusick of Lakewood, Ohio, made the tackle for Ohio State, and they do give Anthony Davis a gain of about 1 yard.
Tom, that play is euphemistically referred to by the student body and Trojan fans as student body left or student body right. Just about everybody, including the center, comes out of the line of scrimmage to lead the way for Davis and or McNeil on that particular type play.
Lynn Swan wide to the right. Hayden pedals straight back to his 15, throwing to the opposite sideline. Overthrown, intended for John McKay up on the 40-yard line, and once again, either needed to step over to bring him down. That's a high sideline pass, incomplete. So it's now 3rd down and 9, Southern California, still on their own 23. And quite often this afternoon, we picked up the pattern. Southern California is going to the boundary close side rather than the open side of the field, and the most damaging blows against the Ohio State defense has been on the close side of the field, guarded by Jim Cook, Rick Middleton, and Steve Luke, and Mitch Parsons. Perhaps John McKay feels they might have found a weakness there. Hayden back in quarterback position, pedals back to his 15, throwing over the middle. It is complete to Ivanovich. He's dropped the ball on the 38 and driven backwards, but Southern California comes out of the hole, and the Trojans have a first down up on the 38. Ohio State leading in this game 7-3, and just seconds remaining in the first period. And the clock will stop. Now it's starting. And that will be the end of the first quarter of the Rose Bowl with the score: the Ohio State Buckeyes 7, the Southern California Trojans 3.
This is WMAQ, Chicago. What Philomena says is listened to by thousands of Southwest Siders. Philomena Paco, president of the near $100 million Chicago Savings and Loan Association, grew up on the Southwest Side and has spent more than 20 years counseling home buyers and savers. Philomena says savings is a family thing. A family that's dedicated to thrift is prepared to meet any emergencies and to enjoy the contentment which comes from financial security. Let savings become a family activity at your house. It pays real dividends, especially at Chicago Savings and Loan Association. That's where the highest interest rates have been paid to 3 generations of savers. Chicago Savings and Loan Association now celebrating its 50th year at 6245 Southwestern Avenue at 63rd Street. Chicago Savings and Loan, WMAQ, Chicago.
Looking back at the first quarter of play with the Buckeyes leading 7-3, Ohio State had 21 plays from scrimmage, the Trojans 19. At one time, Tom Hamlin, it was 19-3, and that's sad, and the Buckeyes have certainly caught up and then some.
Here's the first play of the second quarter. Southern California now first down and 10 on the 38. Their own 38. Anthony Davis gets the call, swings to the short side of the field, and maybe gets a yard from the 38 to about the 39 before he's swarmed under by the right side of the Ohio State line. Arnie Jones in on the hit. Steve Luke comes up from the secondary, and Rick Middleton, the linebacker. So we've just started the second quarter play here at the same Rose Bowl. 104,000 plus on hand, and Anthony Davis so far, 5 carries, 6 yards, and that is not up to his usual activity. We have a long afternoon left, though. 3 quarters of football left. Southern California second down and 9 on the 39. Hayden drops right back to pass to his 30. May have to scramble out there. Gets away from one on the 40. On the 45. Cuts the outside on the 50. Corner street to 45. Ohio State. Oh, a finger and a tremendous hit by Neil Colter. Put him high in the air on the flip. And he landed in the 43-yard line. The rest of this crowd began to roar.
that brilliant bit of open field running by Pat Hayden did not surprise Trojan fans. 18 yards. He was a gifted runner, and John McKay has often said he wished he would run a little more often.
Southern Cal threatening. Ohio State leading 7-3. The ball is on the Ohio State 43. Davis deep in the tailback. Snap of the ball to Hayden, throwing for the end zone this time. He's got thrown down that. It is overthrown, and just barely. And whipping all the way was Steve Luke and Rick Parsons, but that ball had home run and touchdown written all over it, and the ball carried all the way into the end zone. That ball was thrown something like 55 yards in the air. It's a good arm.
Some of our listeners detect a loud roar of discontent from across the way. It's from a predominantly SC rooting section that thought that Swan indeed was bumped by Luke quite heavily as he went for the ball at about the 5-yard line. But the officials did not drop a flag. It's incomplete and back to the Ohio State 43. Second down.
Pat Hayden is the quarterback. Anthony Davis the tailback. Sheldon Diggs is now in at wingback, replacing Lynn Swan. Over the ball goes Bob McCaffrey. In motion is Anthony Davis. Hayden to give. It's Diggs trying the right side of the field. Gets to about the 42-yard line and is run out of bounds. Jim Cope from McKeesport, Pennsylvania, the 228-pound defensive end for Ohio State, pushed him out on the 42, and he got about a yard out of that. So Diggs came in for one play. And does he stay in? Now coming in at tailback is Rod McNeil. And Tom, I guess this is the usual procedure of Coach John McKay. McNeil and Davis alternate quite a bit.
Indeed, and when McNeil comes in, generally it's Gray in at the blocking fullback spot, but I see that Manny Moore is in now along with McNeil.
And Lynn Swan's back in. Hayden takes a snap, drops back to 50, being pursued a bit, has plenty of time, going to run again on the 45, the 40, 35 at the middle to the 30, and dives over the 30 and down to the 29. It's a 13-yard pickup for the running Pat Hayden right up the middle, and another Southern California first down. And the Trojans wide open now on the arms of this young man, and now the fleet feet have the ball right in the middle of the field on the Ohio State 29. Buckeyes leading right here, 7-3 in a crisp January 1, 1974 in the 60th Rose Bowl. Hayden is 3 carries, 24 yards. Diggs is now in at the wing back. Pitch out to Anthony Davis trying to circle right. One hit, and he's dropped by Tim Fox. who submarined on the play, shot the gap, and dropped him back on the 35-yard line. Loss in a play of 6. Let's see where they spot the ball. And move it right on the 35, second down, and 16 Southern California on their own at the Ohio State 35. We just joined our Rose Bowl broadcast. Southern California got on the board first with a 47 near-record field goal for the Bowl by Chris Limahaliu. Ohio State on a grinding 80-yard drive tied it up with Pete Johnson going over from about the 1-foot line. McCaffrey has them down. Hayden calling the signal, second and 16 for 35, throwing to the sideline. Complete to the 35 to McNeil inside the 30. Hit out of bounds as he crosses the 30 and moves out on the 26-yard line by Jim Cope. So, Pat Hayden mixing them up. He's trying everything, Tom Kelly, against this Buckeye defense, which has such high credentials off their successful season in the Big Ten.
It's going to be about 3rd and 8 for the USC Trojans. The ball is on the Buckeye 27, just inside that, and they've got to get inside the 20 to about the 19. So it's going to be 3rd and a long 7. Let's call it 3rd and 8.
Southern California lines up on the Ohio State 28. The wide side of the field is to the left. Lynn Swan comes out, split to the left. Hayden dropping back with the snap, goes back to about the 35, trying to run again. He's on the, this time he gets back to about the original line of scrimmage. He is hammered down on the 25-yard line by Dan Decree, Ohio State's All-American defensive left end from Warren, Ohio. And just a junior got him. And at the time, you can see now Ohio State's defense is really trying to close up these avenues. And it looks like Chris Limahaliu will try to come on and try another field goal as Southern Cal's offense is stymied on the 26 of Ohio State. Rob Adolph, backup quarterback, will hold. It'll be on the 32, and if this is complete, it'll be a 42-yarder. He's got almost a straightaway shot. The ball is down. There's the kick. It's got good distance to it. It's high enough, and it's good. And time out on the field with a score on the Ohio State Buckeyes. 7, Southern California Trojans 6.
Today's family car can build up more engine heat than a racing car going 3 times as fast. Heavy loads, turnpike speed, and the power equipment in today's cars build up severe heat that may rob your motor oil of its full power to protect your engine. For your peace of mind, be sure to use only a premium quality oil like Quaker State. It's refined from 100% pure Pennsylvania-grade crude oil to fight today's heat. For your peace of mind, specify Quaker State.
Motorists, when your car engine is cold, quick starts help you conserve gas. Heat Gasline Antifreeze is a gasoline treatment which improves combustion and prevents gasline freeze-ups. Heat helps keep your engine in tune. Heat helps to extend gasoline mileage. Heat prevents formation of power-robbing carbon. Add heat. Start quickly on the coldest days. Prevent gasline freeze-ups and conserve precious gasoline. Buy Heat Gasline Antifreeze today. Save gas. Add heat. H-E-E-T, heat.
Southern California went 77 yards in 11 plays when Chris Limahaliu put through his second field goal of the afternoon. He's right now 2 for 3. 47 yards, 42 yards, but the Buckeyes lead 7-6. And now Anthony Davis, the do-everything back for the Trojans, will kick off from the 40. And Ohio State has Tim Holycross of Bedford Heights, Ohio. Wide to the east side of the field, Archie Griffin is in the middle on the 5. And Morris Bradshaw, the 6'2 sprinting star from Illinois, is up on about the 8. All-American tackle John Hicks is up on the 20-yard line with a short return just in case the ball comes short. Temperature about 59 degrees, and I would say is dropping. The wind will be behind the back of Anthony Davis, about 5 miles per hour. The wind picks up in the standards. Referee sounds his whistle. Both teams are lined up, and with Southern California trailing Ohio State on top 7-6. After the field goal, Davis kicking off. It's a chip shot. Down, taken by Griffin on the 15, on the 20 at the middle, 25, 30, 35, and is driven to the earth as he crosses the 35. Just as the wedge seemed to be opening up, the gates were closed, and he's brought down on the 37-yard line. First down, and 10 Ohio State on the 37, and Ray Rodriguez made the hit. From the 14-yard line to the 37. Archie Griffin entered this game averaging something like 35 yards a return on kickoff returns. He's run a couple back. Southern California rotates their defense to the wide side of the field. Mike Bartosik is now in a split end. Ohio State with a wing formation to the right. Snap of the ball to Green. The give is to Griffin. Hammers to the 40, still on his feet, and drives and picks his way up to around the 44-yard line. He'll have a 7-yard carry. Time ticking away in the Rose Bowl. 10:56 in the first half. Ohio State leading 7-6, almost like a pitcher's battle. But I'll tell you, Tom Kelly, who did all the Southern California games, the Ohio State coach says that Southern California is a great second half, third and fourth quarter team.
They have indeed had great success in the latter stages of football games throughout this past football season. They'll have to be at their best today.
Ohio State 2nd and 2 on the 44-yard line. Green snaps the ball. On no option play yet, gives it to his fullback. It's Elia trying in the middle for the first down, and he gets over that 45, and the pileup is right in the vicinity of the 45, led by Monty Doris, who led the charge of the Southern California Trojan defense. Anthony in on the hit, and the chains once again will come in to see if the Buckeyes. No, they're not going to come in. It is definitely a first down, and the Buckeyes inch that one out. Ohio State so far has Griffin, the All-American back, 43 yards and 9 carries. And if Archie Griffin comes up with something like 76 more yards today, make that about 76, he'll break the all-time Big Ten record for 1 year set by Eric the Flea Allen on Michigan State. Green has his team down, 1st and 10 on the 47-yard line. Snap of the ball. Cocks his arm, goes to the left, eludes one man, still on his feet, in trouble, comes to the right side, on the 50, dances away, and finally is snared as he crosses the 50 and goes to the 49, and he had Danny Reese all around him, but that was an ad-lib play all the way as the Trojan secondary had the Buckeye receivers caught. So far, Green has not tried the option play. The Buckeyes have run more direct at the Southern California line, but Cornelius Green gave Ohio State a lot of dimension this season with his feigned option, the give and go or take to Archie Griffin, and Green ran for 675 yards, an average of almost 6 yards a carry, and that's a lot for a quarterback. Here's Ohio State 2nd and 5 on the Southern California 48. Morris Bradshaw now in at right halfback in motion. He went across the line, snap of the ball. Griffin tries the middle, gets to the 44, but no doubt about that, Tom Kelly. Bradshaw cut upfield way too soon.
Indeed, and the flag came fluttering down almost at the instant that Bradford made his turn. Bradshaw, that is, made his turn, and so it's going to be a penalty against the Buckeyes procedure call, and it'll be the first penalty against Ohio State University in what has been a relatively penalty-free game. That's only the second penalty called against either of these two clubs, and the first on the Buckeyes. The Trojans have suffered one, and it proved to be a costly one for SC, an offside, as Conway was trying a field goal that went wide, and on an offside call, the Buckeyes got 5 yards, a new lease on life, and rammed it into the end zone for their 7 points. The 7 they've scored so far. All right, the ball's been moved back to about the 47-yard line, nosed up to the Buckeye 47. It's 2nd down, and here's Tom Hamlin.
7-6 Ohio State. They're 2nd down and 10 on their own 47. Mike Bartosik split to the left, snap of the ball, give to Archie Griffin, tries the middle on the 50 and rams it right back to the Southern California 48-yard line. He gained back the 5 yards, but now Ohio State is faced with a 3rd down and a 5-yard situation, and it's right in the middle of the field in the Southern Cal 48, and time 8:36 left to go in the Rose Bowl's first half.
Tom Hamlin, Gary Jeter, the brilliant young freshman for SC from Cleveland, Ohio, who certainly must be playing with mixed emotions in this game, saw Griffin run right straight through him, and Jeter is only 6'5" and 250, and he was a picture of total frustration.
Bruce Ely is in at fullback. The center, Myers, goes over the ball. 3rd and 5, hand off to Griffin. The bread and butter boy can't get to the outside. He gets down to about the 46, but the defense of Southern California holds. And Monty Doris went piling in, and this time Archie Griffin gained about 2 yards on the carry, and Ohio State is shy for the first down, being 3rd down and about 3 on the 46. So we will have the first punt of the afternoon. We played a quarter and 7 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in this half, and this will be the first punt of the afternoon. Mike Keaton is now on the punt. This young man is making his first varsity play ever for Ohio State, standing on the Rose Bowl on the 40. Back deep to receive it, Davis is back there, and Carter. And he punts it nicely. It carries down to the fair catch called for. The ball was into the end zone, and Ohio State illegally touched it, and the flag is down, and the ball went about a yard in, and they return it back out to the 20. There's timeout on the field with the score, Ohio State 7, Southern California 6.
Now there's an economy car that comes from Japan to America, care of Dodge. It's Colt. The import sold, serviced by a network of Dodge Colt dealers from coast to coast. Colt has a low price and a list of 28 standard features that includes an adjustable steering column, a 4-cylinder engine, flow-through ventilation, a fully synchro-meshed 4 on the floor. All that and more. Why don't you stop by your nearby Dodge Colt dealers and test drive one of the 5 Colt models today?
These are the times when a lot of people are thinking about buying a compact. Maybe that's why Plymouth is selling so many Dusters. It's a car that's right for the times. Duster has an economical 6-cylinder engine that can squeeze the miles out of a gallon of gas, but it doesn't squeeze people. There's room to seat 5 comfortably, and Duster has 3 times the trunk space of Pinto or VW. These are just a few reasons why Plymouth Duster was the #1 selling compact last year. See your Chrysler Plymouth dealer now. He'll give you a few reasons why you should get a Plymouth Duster this year. The Rose Bowl in Pasadena. Ohio State 7, USC 6. A dicey bit of business a moment ago, Tom Hamlin, as they waved for the fair catch, and that punt by Keaton just did land on the one, and the Buckeyes were down enthusiastically to cover it, and they collided together in the end zone as the ball bounced between them. So the Trojans, trailing by a point, 7-6, with 7:26 to play in the first half, have it 1st and 10 on the touchback, and they'll start from their own 20.
Pat Hayden will be the quarterback. Lynn Swan will be the flanker back. Manfred Moore is the fullback. Anthony Davis deep. Jim Obradovic the left end. John McKay the right end. And Ohio State leading 7-6 here. The Trojans 1st and 10 on their own 20. In motion is Anthony Davis to the right. Draw play. Manfred Moore gets over the 20 at the 25. Big hole. And a first down to the 30 and just a bit beyond. He went riding right over top of Rich Parsons, and Moore's 187 pounds went flying for about 11 yards on the play, and Southern California now first down and on the 31-yard line.
Moore has been an overlooked football player for the Trojans. He played in the shadow of the great Sam Cunningham, of course, who had him by about 3 inches and 40 pounds. Being a blocking back in the I formation at fullback at 187 is really kind of a hard way to go. He's picked up 23 yards in 2 carries.
Pat Hayden has him down. First down and 10 on his 31. It's Rod McNeil in motion to the left. Hayden drops back to his 20, throwing to McNeil. He's got it on the 35. On the 41, man has him around the ankle, and it's Tim Fox and Neil Colsey dropping him. But it's another first down and a pickup on the play of 11 yards, and it's up on the 42-yard line of Ohio State. Make that the 42-yard line of Southern California. Nevertheless, the Trojans have another first down. Ohio State leading in the 60th Rose Bowl game by the score of 7-6. This is Southern California's 19th Rose Bowl game. They won 13, lost 5 for Ohio State. Rose Bowl game number 8 right now. They won 4, lost 3. Southern California in the eye. Hand off. Davis tries to get the outside. Gets on the 45. Gets around. Moves on the 50. Gets away. Comes outside the 40. Still on his feet. The 35 and out of bounds. Anthony Davis from his own 42 finally got to the outside on what they call student body right, and the sweep took him down. Let's see where he went out of bounds. He crossed the 40 and got down to the Ohio State 37. There was 6:19 to go here in the first half. The Buckeyes leading the Trojans 7-6, and right now Pat Hayden has his team right here in wide open throttle territory. First down. Ball's just inside the 37. That was a 19-yard run. I formation, Swan wing to the left, pitch out Davis starts. Rod McNeil trying the right side of the field. Hemmed in, not much place to go, but gets across the 35 and hammers inside there, and he goes out of bounds on the 28-yard line. Make that the 32-yard line. Gain of about 5. Let's see where they place it. That's brought in. Now they bring it back very near the 34-yard line. A lot of flying and dust going on the far side of the field from the sideline marker. So it's only a 3-yard gain. Second down and 7, Southern California, in the Ohio State 36 on the eastern sideline. Hayden now 7 for 15, 78 yards. He has his team in the eye. Breaking out of the eye is Davis. Hayden backpedals to his 45. May run at this time, being pursued. One man's got him, gets away. Throwing on the run downfield. It is complete. I believe it's Lynn Swan down on the 20. He's hammered off his feet immediately. It is a completed pass to Lynn Swan. Rick Middleton brought him down, and the broken play had the players scrambling all over the field, both Ohio State's defense, Southern California's offense, and that ball is on the Ohio State 22, and that went for just about 14 yards. They have not brought the chains down. 6 minutes to go in the first half of the Rose Bowl. Ohio State leading 7-6, and here are the Trojans right down here knocking with a first down on Ohio State's 22. Snap of the ball to Hayden. The give to Marad McNeil. Takes the 15 and throwing his feet inside the 10 and dropped right on the 10. A 12-yard burst up the middle. Van DeCree and Neil Cozy brought him down, but Rod McNeil went for 12 yards. And the ball is right on the 10-yard marker in front of the Ohio State goalpost. It is 7-6, Ohio State, 5:39 to go in the Rose Bowl's first half, and the Trojans now are on the march. They started back on their own 20. Rod McNeil is out of the ball game. Anthony Davis is in. Out of the huddle, McCaffrey brings him over the ball. Pat Hayden with a signal count. Pitching out to Davis. He's going to throw a halfback pass. It's going to be complete. To John McKay, touchdown. Touchdown, Southern California. Anthony Davis, the pitcher, the catcher, the coach's son, John McKay, 10 yards. He was all alone, wide open in the end zone, and Southern California takes the lead, 12, and Ohio State 6. This crowd comes alive at the Rose Bowl. That was an 80-yard drive with a pump and went dead in the end zone. Southern California mixed it up, marched down the field, and Swan had the big pass play on the 22-yard line. Rod McNeil ran it up to the middle on the 10, and finally the payoff pitch, Anthony Davis to John McKay.
In all my years of covering USC football, I've never seen in the last 2 years Davis do that, and I must confess to you, Tom Hamlin, I didn't know Anthony Davis was left-handed.
I don't think Ohio State did either, because he pitched it and it was wide open. Well, the USC band with Tommy Trojans just played the fight song, and we're going to pause right now, 10 seconds for station identification.
This is WMAQ, NBC in Chicago, home of the Jim Stagg Show, heard every night from 8 until midnight. 7 degrees at 5:02.
Southern California has just scored, capping an 80-yard drive with that 10-yard pass from Anthony Davis, a left-hander into the end zone to the coach's son, John McKay, and Southern California has that lead by the score of 12-7. 80 yards in 8 plays. Brilliant march. Quarterback by Pat Hayden. 5:16 to go in the half, and a delay on the field as we get ready for the extra point try. Chris Limahelu has 6 points in this game, and 30 out of 33 extra points will be trying the extra point.
Tom, they have moved the football for the try clear to the hash mark on this, the west side of the field. The Trojans are not going for 1, obviously are going for 2.
All right, we're going to try perhaps a sweep to the right. McNeil is deep, Moore close. Swan is out to the right. Let's see what happens. Pitch the ball. Hayden is looking to the end zone. He's going to run with the ball. He's still floating back to his 25, throws to the end zone. It is caught! McKay, 2 points. There's timeout on the field with the score. Southern California's Trojans 14 and Ohio State 7.
Today's family car can build up more engine heat than a racing car going 3 times as fast. Heavy loads, turnpike speeds, and the power equipment in today's cars build up severe heat that may rob your motor oil of its full power to protect your engine. For your peace of mind, be sure to use only a premium quality oil like Quaker State. It's refined from 100% pure Pennsylvania-grade crude oil to fight today's heat. For your peace of mind, specify Quaker State.
Dear sirs, a friend said you're asking for volunteers to write to people who never get mail. I have no money, but I can write letters, and I do know how much letters can help.
No matter who you are, we know someone who needs you. Call a volunteer service in your town or write to Volunteer, Washington, D.C. 20013. What we need, money can't buy. We need you. This public service message brought to you on behalf of the National Center for Voluntary Action and the Advertising Council.
Southern California has just scored and completed a two-point play. And now lead Ohio State 14-7, 5:16 to go here in the first half. And now the Buckeyes back to receive. We'll have Archie Griffin down the middle. We have Woody Roach to the left on the 10-yard line, and to the right is Morris Bradshaw. And Chris Lemahaliu will kick off. He'll have the wind to his back, but it's died down just a bit. And the Rose Bowl, 5:16 to go in the first half, and it's been electrifying. It's a squib kick right down the middle, hard to handle. Roach picks it up on about the 13, on the 20, gets away from 125, over the 30, and right there he's hammered to earth. Several Trojans in on him, and the Buckeyes now 70 yards away and trailing 14-7 will have it first down and 10.
I think it's quite evident to our listeners, Tom Hamlin, that the Trojans have had a problem throughout the entire season in getting a kickoff into the end zone and giving their kickoff unit a chance to come down and stop somebody deep in their own territory. Griffin and now Bradshaw run that ball back out quite well. Ohio State with excellent field position, first and 10 on the 30.
Pete Johnson is the fullback. Bashnickel is in motion. Ohio State first and 10 on the 30. Green on the option gets the fullback, and he is punished and dropped for a loss. Hit on about the 29 and dropped back. Charlie Anthony really powered in on him, and the 230-pounder from Fresno drove back Ohio State's 230-pound freshman back to the 29. Second down and 9 for the Buckeyes on their own 29. 4:50 to go here in the first half. And we hope you're enjoying hearing this game wherever you are around the world as much as we're bringing it to you. Tom Hamlin along with Tom Kelly in the Rose Bowl, and the Buckeyes trailing the Trojans 14-7. There's the handoff from Cornelius Green to Griffin, and he's just snowed under as the middle of the Trojan line now has some starch in it. Monty Doris led the charge, and the Buckeyes are now third down and 10 on the 30. And Southern California has swarmed alive on defense and now lead 14-7. And the Buckeyes, who do not like to put the ball in the air, have had one interception, one completion, one incompletion, mull the situation over. Steve Myers, the center, brings the scarlet jerseys out of the huddle, up to the line. Cornelius Green has them down. Wing formation, Hazel wide to the right. Plenty of time. Green is throwing up the middle, complete to Puggage over the 40. It may be enough for the first down as the tight end makes his second reception of the afternoon. The referee plants his foot on the 42-yard line, and Tom Kelly looks like it could be enough from here.
I think it is, Tom Hamlin. In fact, they've just, as we speak now, moved the chains down the far sidelines. It'll be first and 10 for the Buckeyes on their own 41. Gutty call and a bullet-like pass from Green.
Out of the huddle, Ohio State. Hazel split out Bashnickel, a wing back. Rolling out is Corny Green. Going to throw upfield. Diving catch by Hazel on the Southern Cal 44-yard line. Tremendous cutback catch to the sideline, and David Hazel of Xenia, Ohio, pulls that in. And here are the Buckeyes on the move now. 3:34 to go in the first half, trailing 14-7, and they've come out and thrown about as many passes this half as they did the average per game. They averaged 9 per game. Cornelius Green now has thrown 3 completions. Buckeyes first down and 10 on the Southern Cal 44. Green gives to Archie Griffin. He's hit on the line, staggers forward, and ekes out a few yards as he moves right down to about the 42. But now Ohio State's in a race with the clock. The ball's on the 42 of Southern California. It is second down for Ohio State, and they have 7 yards to go. Griffin now has 54 yards and 13 carries. And Ohio State comes out of the huddle. David Hazel split to the left. Cornelius Green over the ball. Gets the snap, rolls to his left, looking, comes to the right side, got some open field on the 40, inside the 40 and down to about the 33-yard line. Danny Reese brought him down, and he's going to be close to a first down. And he got it, surprisingly enough. A broken play, and there's some of the skill of Cornelius Green, Tom Kelly. He can turn a broken play into a first down.
Well, Green is the same elusive type runner that Hayden has turned out to be for the Trojans in this first half so far. A dangerous double threat man.
First and 10, Ohio State on Southern Cal's 34. Here's Green moving to the left, looking, going to keep it, tucks it, puts the ball, gets on the 30, over the 30, and down to the 29. But that clock is moving. 2:25 to play in the Rose Bowl's first half. The Trojans of Southern California leading Ohio State 14-7, and both teams are pulling out all the stops. Buckeyes now in the 29 of Southern California, and that clock now is still moving at 12-11. Second down and 5, Ohio State in the Southern California at 29. Tight formation. Deep back as Griffin gets the call, tries the middle, and just hammers straight ahead, and pile drives inside the 25 to the 24. Ohio State short yardage team may find the clock and the time just too much for them unless they take to the air again. They're now in the Southern California inside the 25, but trailing 14-7. 1:44 to go. Third down and less than one, Ohio State on the 25. Southern California digs in. Fashionable a wing to the right. Here is Griffin. Griffin gets 20 yards. 15, the 10. They run his feet inside the 10 and down and about the 8. And he almost broke that one. Archie Griffin rolled off tacklers on a slant to his right and gets Ohio State a first and goal on the 8.
They caught the Trojans in almost a goal line defense, Tom Hamlin, and when Griffith busted through the line of scrimmage, spun off one blocker, 17 yards. What a brilliant, electrifying runner he is.
There's 1:23 to play in the half. Full house backfield for Ohio State on the 8. Handoff, it's Johnson rambling to the 5. Diggs drives with his strength, gets to the 2 and pulling 3 Trojans with him. The big freshman from Long Beach, New York, building the lines of Marion Motley, the former Cleveland Brown. Back just dragged Trojans with him, got down to the 2, and Ohio State's second down and goal to go. And the clock is stopped at 1:11 as the Buckeyes want to pick out the strategy. So, the Scarlet and Gray Shakers down below pick up, the Buckeye battle cry below. So let's see Ohio State spirit.
Tom Hamlin, if the fight starts, I'd like to have Johnson on my side. He carried Reese and Parker literally from the 5-yard line right down to the 2, and I don't know how they got him to the turf yet. Interesting to note, looking back at a year ago this day, in 1973, these two teams went to the dressing room tied at 7-7, and the Buckeyes are just 2 yards away, and a possible point after try for 1, maybe for 2, of going to the dressing room in the same situation. A thrilling first half of football, as first the Trojans and then Ohio State have taken turns hammering at one another. What a war of attrition down there in the trenches where they say these games are won or lost. Brilliant exhibition by Green on this drive that started on the Ohio State 30, and some bruising running by Griffin and now Johnson. Be sure to stay tuned to your NBC station. The Orange Bowl game immediately following this broadcast. Here come the Buckeyes.
Ohio State second down and goal on the 2. Full house backfield. Open field is to the left. Snap of the ball. It is Dick Johnson, the fullback, hammering very close to the goal line. He went down his knees, hitting on the 1. So Ohio State's third down and goal situation on the Southern California 1. 58 seconds left to go in the first half. Buckeyes not taking time off, hurrying the play. Green has them down. Long count. Referee signifies timeout. Southern California. So Southern California wanted to gather the defensive forces. Ohio State trying to race the clock with 51 seconds left. Went into the play without a huddle. On the 17-yard burst by Archie Griffin, which took the ball down to the 8-yard line, he's now picked up unofficially 75 yards for the day, Tom Kelly. He now has 1,503 yards on this season, which makes him the top rusher in the history of the Big Ten, breaking the record set by Eric Allen of Michigan State back in 1971.
And when you consider not only does he have that record, but I'm thinking more of Ohio State's great tradition of great running backs, he certainly stands as a ball carrier alone, and he's just a sophomore, and what a brilliant career he's got ahead of him. You know, as I watch him, being so tuned into Southern California, he is so very, very similar to the great Mike Garrett, who had a great pro career following a great college career and a Heisman Trophy winner at USC. He and Griffin so much look alike.
Here's Ohio State out of the huddle, third and goal on the 1. The center, Steve Myers, turns around, checks signals with his quarterback, Cornelius Green. Southern California leading 14-7 this Rose Bowl. 51 seconds to go in the half, and the Buckeyes trying to ram on in. Teams are down. Green waits for the snap of the ball, gets it. It is Johnson, and he rams over for the score. Another 80-yard drive. Bread and butter on the play. One pass to Fred Puggich. A fine, dazzling 17-yard sprint up the middle by Archie Griffin. And then the battering ram jabs of Pete Johnson, the freshman. And he now has 2 touchdowns this afternoon, and Southern California has that lead 14-13. That was something like 70 yards in 10 plays. Blair Conway will try the extra point. Brian Baschnagel will hold. Teams are down. Mark Straker will snap it back. There's the snap. Their kick. Coach. It's squib. But it's good. He's like a 9-iron shot that had too much turf with it. It just barely cleared the crossbar. Tom Kelly. He took too much turf, and the crowd oohed and awed, and barely crossed the bar, but it's a tie game. 14 Ohio State, 14% in Cal.
I've got to believe also one of the Trojans got in and got a piece of that football, Tom. And Phillips just did get a chunk of it, but not nearly enough, and Conway had enough foot through the ball that it popped straight up in the air and carried and crossed the bar. So what a thrilling contest we've got with 49 seconds left in the first half and quite a bit of blue sky over to the north and east of the famed Rose Bowl here in Pasadena, and heavily overcast to our right, which would be the south and southwest. Temperature, below 60 in the mid to low 50s now, and a bit of a cool breeze, and Ohio State has it teed on the hash mark near us, ready to kick it off, and the Trojans will have 49 seconds to do something with it.
As Herb Panama, our spotter, pointed out, Johnson followed John Hicks right over for that touchdown. Here's the kickoff. It goes to Carter on the 4, comes up to the sideline on the 10, 15 to 20, breaks over the 25, and down he goes on the 30-yard line of Southern California, and Blair Conway's kickoff was sort of a line drive, did not go end over end. It went to the right side of the field, and picking the ball up was Allen. Or rather, Alan Carter. So Southern California now is first down on their own 30. 43 seconds to go in the first half of a tie Rose Bowl game, 14-14. And the brilliant Pat Hayden, you know he's not going to sit for a tie. Tom Kelly, he'll be going for the downs.
Oh, Hayden has the capability of throwing it from anywhere on the field for the big bomb, and he's able to do it.
Hayden's throwing to the sidelines. It goes out to Rod McNeil. He's going to be hemmed in on the 30 and probably driven out for a loss, but stops the clock. He gets out on about the 29-yard line, and it was Len Swan going downfield. The pass was from Hayden to Rod McNeil. It looked like that Swan was going deep.
Tom, that type of play was kind of the widest screen you'd ever want to see set up. Riley had come out of his tackle spot, and the SC line had drifted well over to the far sidelines, and Hayden just dropping straight back, looked downfield and fired to Swan, and Riley was there to provide some blocking, but it never materialized.
35 seconds left in the half. It's still second down and 10, Southern California. Snap of the ball to Hayden, and the give to Rod McNeil. Tries to break up the middle on a delayed buck, moves over to 30 and gets out to the 33, and once again, Junior Arnie Jones of Dayton, 235-pounder, made the stop. Clock is ticking down to 20 seconds. Southern California doesn't huddle. Deep. McNeil. Snap of the ball. Give to McNeil. Tries the same play. This time gets some yardage. Moves out to the 40. Will get a first down. Stopping the clock with 9 seconds in the first half. And what a thrilling game we've got. 14-14. Both teams explosive. And both teams playing up to their potential in the first half. Southern California doesn't huddle. Swan split wide to the left. McKay out there with him. McNeil is deep. 9 seconds. Clock will stop. Hayden just runs out to the right. Arnie Jones pursues him. He's going to run out of bounds. He gets out of bounds with about 2 seconds to go. He goes into the bench on the Southern Cal side of the field, and the players swarm over there, and the crowd boos. Thought Ohio State had driven him off his feet when he was running out of bounds, and that looks like what it's all about. And there's a flag down on the play, Tom Kelly. It looks like unsportsmanlike conduct against the Buckeyes. And Woody Hayes comes out with his red jacket, waving his arms. The crowd's booing him, I think, but he's a sportsman. He wants to get his boys out of there. And the chorus of boos just raises from the 105,000 fans at the Rose Bowl. But Woody goes out to still the waters, and he's bringing his players out of there.
Tom, Van de Cree took Hayden, who was running off the sidelines, and literally carried him off the field and hit him what is going to be a late shot because the flag came down. The whole play was an unfortunate set of circumstances. The officials, when they marked the ball ready for play, did not blow the whistle. as SC snapped the ball from center. Then the referee blew his whistle. Hayden took the snap, drifted back, and then looked at the referee as if to say, is the play dead? And when the referee just shrugged his shoulders, Hayden then ran for the sidelines, and Van de Cree did hit him a late shot. Now, in all good conscience, we must say that Coach Hayes, who has been a model of decorum and who has really pleased and thrilled the spectators and the press out here, was on the field trying to mollify his players and get them back away from what could have been a nasty situation.
2 seconds to go in the first half. Referee steps between the two teams. And Southern California has a first down on that unsportsmanlike play against Van de Cree. It's on the 49. Lynn Swan will be to the left. McKay to the right. Let's see if Pat Hayden tries to go all the way. Ohio State with a 5-man secondary. Now a 6-man secondary. Hayden drops back, doesn't disappoint. Looking, throwing to the sidelines. It goes to Rod McKeel on the 50, complete. 40 and out of bounds. And the first half will end with that completed pass, which carried to the Ohio State 38. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the end of the first half of the 1974 Rose Bowl with a score. The Ohio State Buckeyes 14, Southern California's Trojans 14.
Give your hand to a friend, give your heart to your love, give your cold contact, the sooner the better.
Hey, I'm back. How's that cold?
Rotten. Get the contact?
I got everything. Contact, cold tablets, and this liquid.
Oh, no.
Honey, it's all cold medicine.
Oh, sure, but it only takes one contact for up to 12 hours continuous relief from sneezing, drips, congestion. For that, I'd need 6 of your cold tablets.
2 every 4 hours.
Or 3 ounces of nighttime liquid.
1 every 4 hours.
Or just 1 contact. The tiny Tide pills do it.
Well, it's all cold medicine.
Those others contain antipyretic analgesics. The liquid, antitussive, and alcohol. They're not in contact.
6 or 3 or 1. I choose the 1 contact.
Me too. And I'm the one with the cold.
Give your cold contact, the sooner the better.
6 or 3 or 1. When you catch a cold, take contact. Only as directed.
It's 14-14, halftime here at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. Tom Kelly with Tom Hamlin, and a thrilling and exciting first half of football just completed. In fact, a first half of football that thrilled a crowd of near 105,000 here at the famed Rose Bowl, marred just slightly, I must admit, by an unnecessary sportsmanlike call here at the very end of the first half, but one that was literally played penalty-free and certainly most exciting.
As we said, Southern California and Ohio State are tied 14-14 with the edge in yardage 205 yards to Ohio State's 175. And here's the individual leaders now. Archie Griffin is the top runner in the afternoon. The Ohio State Buckeye has 63 yards in 14 carries. Pete Johnson, the fullback, with 2 scores. The freshman has 36 yards and 13 carries. And here are the Buckeyes out on the field, and that's the cheer from the Buckeye fans and the slight boo from the Southern Cal fans. Cornelius Green, the option runner for the Buckeyes, has 20 yards and 4 carries. Hasn't run the option much today, threatening more to pass. And fullback Bruce Elia has 8 yards and 2 carries. For Southern California, Anthony Davis has come on now with 22 yards and 7 carries. Manfred Moore, 23 yards in 2 carries. Hayden run the ball quite well. Total, he has a net yard of 19 yards and 5 carries. 1 long one leading to a field goal. Diggs has 1 carry for 3 yards. And McNeil, the top Southern California runner, he has 26 yards and 4 carries. And the teams are just even as can be on the scoreboard, 14-14. 205 yards to Southern California and 175 to Ohio State. Ohio State with their 8th participation in the Rose Bowl have won 4, lost 3, and Southern California, their 19th participation, they won 13 and lost 5. Both teams are out on the field. Tie game 14-14, and here's the voice of the Southern Cal Trojans to set the lineups and call the play for you on NBC here in the second half.
Thank you, Tom Hamlin. The Trojans will kick off to the Buckeyes. Chris Lima-Halu will tee the ball up at the 40, and SC has had problems getting any distance on their kickoffs in the first half. Davis and Brad Rice and Lima-Halu have all taken turns in kicking off to the Buckeyes, none with any great degree of success, as Ohio State, thanks to their brilliant back, Archie Griffin, have had excellent field position each and every time they've taken over the football. Griffin again is the deep man, along with Bradshaw and Bashnagel. Bradshaw is on our side of the field, which is the west side, and Bashnagel to the far side, and Griffin dead in the middle, waiting at the Buckeye 5-yard line. 14-14. Lima Halil ready to kick it off for the Trojans. The officials are set, and here we go for the second half of the 1974 Rose Bowl. The kick is a low line drive bouncing down inside the 20, where it's picked up on the far side by Bashnagel, and he's stopped in his tracks as he gets to the 22, and down to make the stop for the Trojans, Manny Moore in on the specialty or kickoff unit. So SC will take over, Ohio State will take over, 1st and 10 on the Buckeye 22. 2-yard return from the 20 to the 22. Green is in at the quarterback spot. Ilya will be in at the fullback position for the Buckeyes with Griffin and Bashnagel. The ends will be Pugic and Hazel. And Hazel is split wide to the right as Green brings him to the line of scrimmage on the Buckeye 22. The handoff, and Griffin straight ahead over the 25 to about the 27 before he is hit and dropped at that point. At the bottom of the pile for the Trojans as they uncap is Sims, and getting up very slowly along with him, Jeter, the freshman from Cleveland, Ohio. They mark the ball on the 26, so for Griffin it's going to be a pickup of 4, and it'll be 2nd and 6 Ohio State. Again, Hazel is wide right, I formation. Green hands off and hitting straight ahead and fighting his way over the 30 to about the 32, Ilya, before Parker can come up from his safety spot to bring him down. Shy of the first down, but not by that much. At the Ohio State 32, not quite, say the officials, but it is so close they might bring the chains in. No, just nosed up to the 32, and the ball's got to be at least on the mark. Into the ball game, Pete Johnson, who has scored 2 Ohio State touchdowns in this game. John Smyrna comes in at an end position. Coming out is Hazel. And on a 3rd and less than a yard to go situation, the Buckeyes on their own 32. Green from a full house backfield, hands off, and fighting his way into the secondary is Johnson at midfield. The 45, the 40. He's run down, but not till he gets to the Trojan 31-yard line. Johnson bursting through the line and carrying downfield before Cobb can bring him down 39 yards. And again, Tom Hamlin, it looked as though they caught the Trojans in a goal line stand, and once Johnson pulled his way past the line, he was off to the races.
It was a slant to the right, and All-American John Hicks opened that hole, Tom. He just nudged his opponent aside, a hole you could run a truck through, and Johnson's that big, and he got there.
Ilya replaces Johnson as the Buckeye fullback. Whoops! Hicks came off the ball and across the line of scrimmage, making contact with Jeter as flags fall, and I think we're going to have our 5th penalty of the ball game. It has been one that is relatively free of infractions, illegal procedure against the Buckeyes. That 5 will help the Trojans and set Ohio State back to the SC 36, where it'll be 1st and 15. In the first half, Ohio State was penalized twice for 20 yards. That personal foul near the end of the first half, the 15-yarder in the Trojans, 2 penalties for 10 yards. One proved to be very costly, though, an offside affair on a Trojan 36. Inside handoff, and Griffin fights his way to about the 33. Bashnagel, not Griffin, on the carry, on the halfback counter. I don't know, but that's one of the few times this year that Bashnagel's had his hands on the football from scrimmage, Tom. He's only today, at any rate.
He's only carried about 24 times. That's an average of about 2.5 a game, and they don't run out of that too much, Tom.
2nd and 11 for the Buckeyes on the Trojan 32-yard line. Green, the quarterback. Hands off, Grote keeps it, rolls left, going to pass, fires over the middle, and it's complete at the Trojan 15 to Fred Pugic. Beautifully thrown, Ariel, a bullet-like affair, and some legerdemain ball handling by Green in the backfield, and the Buckeyes are threatening definitely on the Trojan 15. Parker makes the stop. It is 1st and 10 for the Bucks on the Trojan 15. Johnson back in at the fullback spot. Ball on the Trojan 15. Ohio State took this second half kickoff on their own 22. They've marched to the Trojan 15. Green hands off, will fumble. The ball on the ground. Griffin fumbles. The Trojans have recovered on about the Trojan 17. First fumble of the football game. We'll see who gets up. Sims is at the bottom, along with Riley and Anthony. Any one of the three could have had it. The first fumble of the game. I don't believe Griffin really had a hold of the football, Tom Hamlin.
No, he didn't. They anticipated the play, and now Ohio State has 2 turnovers. The first intercepted pass of the game, and this one, Archie's contributed so much. He doesn't cough up the ball much, but now Southern California has it, and it's a tie game, 14-all in the second half.
They've given the fumble recovery to Monty Doris. Trojans now, 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line. Hayden, the quarterback, hands off to his tailback, Davis, who fights his way out to about the 19. Most of the scarlet and gray are there to bring him down, led by Vic Cagle, middle linebacker for Ohio State. They'll mark it at the 19, a gain of, make it the 18, and a gain of 2, 2nd and 8 Trojans. Davis in the first half had 19 yards on 7 carries. He was 1 for 1 in the passing department. A left-handed 10-yard toss that brought the Trojans their only touchdown. 2 field goals by Lima Halu. Back to pass. Hayden sets up. Lots of protection. Going to have to run with it. Gets up over the 15 and back out to the 19 before he is hit and dropped by Cusick, who recovered nicely as Hayden found his receivers covered by the deep secondary of Ohio State. And as he had done so many times in the first half, elected to put it on back under his arm and go with it. Got back just to the line of scrimmage, 3rd and 8. The ball is at the Trojan 18. Davis is in, McNeil out. Swan and McKay come out of the Trojan huddle wide left. Swan in the slot on the left, I formation, and Hayden's back to throw. Excellent protection. Looks, fires upfield. It is complete. Swan at the 36, the 40, 44-yard line. Swan caught that bullet-like aerial from Hayden between tacklers and fought his way upfield to the 44. Flag is down. Cope, along with Gradishar, made the stop. 26 yards. They say that his knee touched the ground at the 35, and that is why the flag was on the field, to denote his forward progress, though he had staggered forward to the Trojan 44. 17-yard aerial at the SC 35, 1st and 10. Third period, game tied, 14-14. Hayden, the quarterback. McNeil in. Swan in motion to the far sidelines. Hayden hands off on the inside delay, and Manfred Moore runs the fullback delay to the 39. Hit and stopped in there by Middleton, leading the Buckeye charge on defense. Moore has carried 3 times for 27 yards in the football game. 10:46 remaining in the third period. 14-14. Davis back in. McNeil out for the Trojans. The ball is marked on the SC. Call it the 39. 2nd and a long 6 for SC. McKay goes to the far or short sidelines. Swan is split in the slot about a yard left. Davis in motion. Hayden takes the snap. Gives to Moore, but the Buckeyes were waiting. But Moore fights his way past would-be tacklers over the 45 to about the 46, and he is very close if he doesn't have a first down. They'll mark it at the 46, and it is indeed a first down as Gradishar makes the stop for Ohio State. You know, that fullback delay handoff, Tom Hamlin, is something that Moore and the Trojans have been running late in the season. It was not in the playbook for SC earlier in the year.
They caught Ohio State's linebackers moving there, Tom Kelly, and it looked for a moment the hole was going to be bigger than it was, but the Ohio State linebackers were not frozen. They were moving, and thus a first down.
Rod McNeil checks into the Trojan backfield. McKay and Swan are wide left. Now Swan turns and goes in motion to the right. Hayden is back to pass. Sets up. Runs out of the pocket. In trouble. Fires. Almost intercepted. Threw it right into the arms of Vic Cagle, middle linebacker for Ohio State. The 6'1", 215-pound senior from Cincinnati was probably even more surprised than Pat Hayden.
That had all the speed of a Sandy Koufax fastball on it, and I don't think anyone could have caught that one, Tom Kelly.
Ball is at the 46, 2nd and 10. Davis back in, and McNeil checks out of the Trojan backfield. One gets the opinion that John McKay is sending in plays with the messenger service of Davis and McNeil, though he did use his tailbacks almost on every other play late in the 1972-73 season. Swan in motion to the right, and Hayden is back on the delay. Hands off to Davis, up the middle. Midfield, 45. down to the 40, down to the Buckeye 39, before he's hit and dropped by Neil Cozy. 15-yard pickup for Anthony Davis. He's at the Buckeye 39. First and 10 for the Trojans. SC started this drive on their own 16-yard line as the Buckeyes took the third period kickoff and drove to the SC 15 where Griffin fumbled. SC recovered. Doris took over there, and SC has marched from its own 16 now back upfield to the Buckeye 39. 9:20 remaining in the third period. Game tied at the Rose Bowl, 14-14. Swan in the slot on the right. McNeil in motion. Hayden hands off. Moore slips past would-be tacklers at the line of scrimmage and fights his way inside the 35 to the Buckeye 33-yard line. Stop is made in there by Fox and Cope and Van de Cree coming up from the secondary to make the tackle for Ohio State. Mark the ball on the Ohio State 33-yard line. Going to be second down and about 4 yards to go. Ball on the Buckeye 33. Trojans and Ohio State tied 14-14. The 60th Rose Bowl from Pasadena. It's a cold, overcast afternoon here in Pasadena. Hayden fakes the handoff, play action, back to pass, firing downfield. Off the fingertips of a diving Lynn Swan at the Ohio State 19. A bullet-like effort by Hayden, but Swan did not have a chance, got just a fingertip on it. Middleton and Cagle were there in defense for Ohio State. Moore has carried 5 times for 39 yards. He had only 32 carries throughout the entire 73 football season. So he has done at least a sixth of that effort in the afternoon here at the Rose Bowl. Ball back on the 33. It's 3rd and 4. Trojans on the Ohio State 33. McNeil in and Davis out. Manfred Moore is in at the fullback or blocking back spot for the Trojans. McKay left. Swan right. The give to McNeil. Finds a hole at the 30 to about the 28. Very close to the first down. It is 1st and 10 USC. McNeil slanting straight ahead. Back of Brown and Cordell on the right side of the Trojan line. Jones and Gradishar make the stop for Ohio State. 1st and 10 Trojans on the Ohio State 28. SC drive started back on the Trojan 16. McNeil's carried 5 times for 31 yards. 8:12 time remaining in this, the third period. A tie game, 14-14. McCaffrey up over the ball at center. Davis back in, replacing McNeil. McKay and Swan are wide left. Swan in the slot. Now in motion. Back to the right side. Hayden pitching back. Davis at the 30, at the 25, at the 20, down the sideline. Skips out of bounds. We'll see where the officials mark it at the 11-yard line. And the Trojans are driving. Tim Fox pulled him out of bounds. 17-yard pickup for Anthony Davis. It'll be 1st and 10 for USC on the Ohio State. We'll wait for the officials to set the chain. They've got it at the 9-yard line, so it's 1st and goal for SC. Cagle comes out as middle linebacker for Ohio State, and Bowers replaces him. 1st and goal, the ball just shy of the 9. McNeil in at the tailback spot. Swan and McKay are wide left. Swan back in motion to the short sidelines. The pitch to McNeil at the 10. The ball popped high in the air. And it is recovered by the Trojans on the 3-yard line. It's either Moore or Riley that recovered the ball that popped out of the hands of McNeil, flew at least 15 feet in the air toward the Ohio State goal line, and a fortuitous grab by the Trojans has given them a gain of about 6 yards and the ball on the 3. Tom, we're seeing everything today.
They're pulling out all the stops, and I'll tell you, that looked exactly like a basketball rebound. Here they come, Tom. They're on the 2.
The fumble recovery is credited to McCaffrey, the Trojan center, who fell on it on the 2. 2nd and goal. Davis hurdles for the goal line. He stopped shy of it. Davis straight ahead, hurdling a la Sam Cunningham of a year ago, is down to about the 1. 6:50 remaining in this, the third period. 14-14 tie. The ball is just about its length away from being in the Buckeye end zone. Kuhn and Bonamitzi made the stop for Ohio State. It is for the Trojans, 3rd and call it a yard. McKay and Swan are sent wide left. Hayden, the quarterback. Davis back in at the tailback spot. He hurdles into the line. He's over. Davis has scored from the yard out, and the Trojans have gone in front 20-14. Trojans go 84 yards in 14 plays. 2014 USC. Lima Halu out of the hold by Adolph. It's up. No flags. It's good. And so with 6:22 remaining in the third period, there's timeout and the score at the Rose Bowl. USC 21, Ohio State 14. Gets set to kick off to Ohio State. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification.
This is WMAQ Chicago. 1 minute till 6 p.m. in Chicago.
Lima Halu advances on the ball, kicks it a low rolling kick, picked up by Doug Plants, one of the up linemen for the Buckeyes. And the big lumbering tackle, 6'6", 258-pound junior from Dayton, brings it back to the Ohio State 33-yard line. And once again, the Buckeyes will start with excellent field position. The Trojans, 84 yards, 14 plays. Credit that fumble recovery to Manny Moore and not McCaffrey down on the 2. Green hands off, and Griffin bursts his way up the middle, over the 40 and up to the Ohio State 41-yard line. Stop is made by Dale Mitchell, along with Reese, and a flag down on the field. Ohio State starting 1st and 10 on their own 33. Griffin bursting up the middle. Got to the 40, perhaps the 41, and a flag. We'll wait for the referee's signal. Penalty against Ohio State. I think I interpreted that as illegal use of the hands on offense, Tom, holding on the Buckeyes, and that is the first, or the second major infraction against Ohio State. Second 15-yard walk-off, fourth penalty, and the second major one, and the ball goes back to the Buckeye 21. USC has not punted in this game, and Ohio State only once. There have been 2 key turnovers, both committed by the Buckeyes. The ball back on the Ohio State 21, and it's going to be 1st and 25. Johnson is in. Green makes the handoff. He's back to pass. Beautiful deception. Now he's going to run with it. Back to the 30, out to the 20, 25, to the 30. He has hit and dropped it about the 37-yard line. Stop was made over there by Roberson, and there seems to be some confusion down as Green was rolled out of bounds right at the feet of Woody Hayes, and I think they want a face mask penalty against the Trojans. Personal foul, SC is going to be the call, as T. Parker, the Trojan safety man, comes up to confer with the officials. So while the Buckeyes have been guilty of 2 major infractions, the Trojans find themselves with their first now, and from back on the 21 and the fine scrambling run by Green, the Buckeyes will have the ball upfield at the Trojan 47.5. Let's call it the 48, 1st and 10. 21-14, the Trojans lead Ohio State. 5:51 remaining in the third period from the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. Wherever you are today, NBC Sports sends along best wishes for a Happy New Year. Tom Kelly with Tom Hamlin. This is the 60th Rose Bowl game. While we're talking about longevity, our producer-director, Tom, Hal Ashby, is spending his 20th Rose Bowl with us here in the press box at Pasadena. If he's not careful, it's going to turn into a permanent thing for him. That's a 48. First and 10, Ohio State. Green, the quarterback, hands off to Griffin, finds a hole, and slides inside the 45 and down to about the Trojan 43. Anthony, along with Richard Wood and Reese, coming up to knock Griffin off his pins. At the 43, a pickup of 5, second and 5.
Cornelius Green now ad-libbing that broken play with the pass. Shows exactly what he did in carrying Ohio State to a lot of dimensions off Griffin this year.
All right, I formation again for the Buckeyes at the Trojan 43. Green keeps it on his hip. He's back to pass, giving ground a bit now. At the 45, fires downfield. It is complete. And inside the 5, puts the ball at the Trojan 4-yard line is Fred Puckett. And listen to the Buckeye fans.
Tom, that's Fred Puggage's fourth reception of the afternoon, and Ohio State didn't pass Green that much all season long. This must be Woody Hayes' secret weapon this afternoon. Fred Puggage, considered rather slow and a good blocker with 4 receptions.
39 yards on that Green to Puggage aerial. First and goal, Ohio State. And the Buckeyes are right back knocking at the door, trailing by 7, third period. The give to Johnson. He could have driven it through the SC defensive line as Johnson walked unmolested. His third touchdown of the afternoon in the Buckeyes. Conway to try. Bushnagel to hold. Bashnagel to hold. Lines are set. The snap. It's down. It is no good. No good. Busting in from the side for the Trojans was Charlie Phillips. And it looked as though he might, if he didn't get a hand on it, at least distracted Conway. And the kick goes wide. And now it's USC with timeout on the field. USC 21 and Ohio State 20.
A lot of folks are small car shopping these days, looking to save a little gas and a little money. Well, if you're one of them, I'd like to tell you about a car that's right on target. The Dodge Dart Free Automatic Offer. You see, Dart has always been known as a car that's a little stingy on gas and just about the right size. But what makes the Dart Free Automatic so right on target is the free automatic transmission. When you buy a specially equipped Dart Swinger hardtop or custom 4-door sedan equipped the way most people want them, things such as AM radio, vinyl roof, power steering, white wall tires, deluxe wheel covers, special exterior trim, and more, your Dodge dealer can offer you the automatic transmission at no extra charge because Dodge doesn't charge him for it. Dart has over 1 million satisfied owners. I think one of the reasons is the Dart Free Automatic Offer. Ask a friend about his Dart. It's the small car from Dodge that's right on target.
The Buckeyes have gone 67 yards in 4 plays. A 39-yard pass to Puggage was a big move in the Buckeye drive, and the try for the extra point was blocked by Phillips. SC leads 21-20. Conway kicking off. It is high, deep, end over end. Taken at the 5-yard line by Davis. 10, 20, 25, and to about the 28-yard line where the scarlet and gray meet him and drop him. It'll be first and 10 for the Trojans, and some encounters upfield that the officials quickly separate the contestants, and Davis is helped to his feet by Carter, just a bit shaken at the Trojan 28.
Tom, there's no bad feeling between these teams. Prior to the game, 2 or 3 hours before dressing, Southern Cal was on the field. Ohio State came out. The men walked over, talked friendly, shook hands, and really were playing sportsmanship the way you should. They were friends.
I think, as is the case with all great athletes, they really respect athletic ability and talent in other people and are quick to praise each other. Whoops. No snap, and Obradovich came off the ball and was across the line of scrimmage, and the Trojans are going to be called for illegal procedure. And that'll set them back to the SC 23, and it's going to be first and 15.
That is the fourth penalty incurred by the Trojans. So Hayden and company will start from their own 23 now with a 1st and 15 and 4:47 remaining in the third period. Very overcast and quite cold. Temperature probably no better than 55 degrees right now here in Pasadena. From the 23, Hayden sends Swan in motion. Hands off, straight ahead Davis, but straight ahead is to the 25, and then he spun around and dropped as hitting him. Bonamici at the 26 is where they'll mark it, a pickup of 3, and it'll be 2nd and 12 for the Trojans. McNeil in, Davis out.
This Nick Bonamici, just a freshman, along with Pete Johnson. What a thrill to play on the Rose Bowl. And here Pete Johnson for Ohio State has done all the Buckeye scoring. 3 touchdowns, Tom.
High formation. Pat Hayden, the quarterback for the Trojans. Swan wide right. McKay to the left. In motion, McNeil. The snap. Hayden straight back to pass. Fires over the middle, incomplete, intended for, I believe, his tight end Obradovich, although he had both McNeil and Swan in that same pattern, flooding that zone out to the right. Grandaddy was there, and actually Obradovich had his back turned. Hayden never really did see the pass till it rifled past him. It's going to be 3rd down and 12 Trojans on their own 26. Attendance announced is 105,267. Not a record, but certainly a capacity crowd. A capacity is listed now as 104,700. I don't know where the others are standing, but they're here. Hayden back to pass. 3rd down. Good protection. Now he's got to run out of it at the 20. 25. Fires upfield. It is incomplete for Obradovich off his fingertips. And I don't know whether or not Hayden, he was indeed past the line of scrimmage when he threw it. Steve Luke was there on defense against Obradovich. Past the line of scrimmage when he let it go, Tom.
Both quarterbacks, Cornelius Green and Pat Hayden, at their best when they're ad-libbing the plays, and naturally, you can't have defenders after you as Hayden did and watch where the sideline marker is, but indeed he was beyond that line of scrimmage, and in football, that's a no-no, as they say.
So the Trojans, with a 4th down situation, will have their first punt of the afternoon. In the kick will be Jimmy Lucas, who's averaging 36.1 yards per try. His longest kick was 53. Colsey is deep. Standing back at the Buckeye 40. Oh, big rush by the Buckeyes, but Lucas gets it away. Colsey gives ground to his own 35. Back to the 40. Breaks in the open field across the way with blockers in front of him. At the 35, the 30, the 25, the 20, the 10, down to about the 8-yard line. What a brilliant return by Neil Colsey before Ted Roberson can run him down at the Trojan 8-yard line. Tom Hamlin, I guess you've seen him run those back before.
Tom, he's done that all year long. He scored 2 touchdowns and long runs. He leads the nation with 615 yards on return, and he is the long bomb on the punt return. There's timeout on the field with the score. The Southern California Trojans 21, Ohio State's Buckeyes 20.
Today's family car can build up more engine heat than a racing car going 3 times as fast. Heavy loads, turnpike speed, and the power equipment in today's cars build up severe heat that may rob your motor oil of its full power to protect your engine. For your peace of mind, be sure to use only a premium quality oil like Quaker State. It's refined from 100% pure Pennsylvania-grade crude oil to fight today's heat. For your peace of mind, specify Quaker State.
Motorists, when your car engine is cold, quick starts help you conserve gas. Heat Gasline Antifreeze is a gasoline treatment which improves combustion and prevents gasline freeze-ups. Heat helps keep your engine in tune. Heat helps to extend gasoline mileage. Heat prevents formation of power-robbing carbon. Add heat. Start quickly on the coldest days. Prevent gasline freeze-ups and conserve precious gasoline. Buy Heat Gasline Antifreeze today. Save gas. Add heat. H-E-E-T, heat.
So in a 21-20 USC football game, the Buckeyes, who've scored once here and missed the third period, are threatening to do it again and take the lead
as Colby's 58-yard punt return gives the Buckeyes first and goal at the Trojan 9. Green with a full house backfield. Hands off, and Johnson fights his way to the 5-yard line. John Hicks leading the charge to open up the hole before he could be brought down by Reese at the 5. And if Johnson pushes this one in, it'll be his 4th touchdown at the Rose Bowl, and that'll send us to the record books again, Tom Hamlin.
Just like Sam Cunningham last year, and I noticed that Anthony Davis, when he scored on close situation, flew over the goal line just as Sam did last year.
Second down and goal for the Buckeyes at the Trojan 5. Green hands off, and Johnson hitting back inside on the counter. Gets to about the 2. Richard Wood at the bottom of the pile for the Trojans on defense. It'll be 3rd and goal, Ohio State on the Trojan 2-yard line. The Buckeyes went 67 yards in 4 plays to score. The Trojans, after recovering an Ohio State fumble on the 16, marched it into the end zone. And now the Buckeyes, trailing 21-20, are trying to get the go-ahead score here. 3rd and goal from the 2. Defense shouts the SC crowd. The handoff, and Johnson is met and stopped standing straight up. Riley Phillips stood the big fullback from Ohio State straight up at about the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be 4th down and goal from the 2. I don't see Conway coming in, Tom Hamlin.
No, I imagine keep your eye on number 74, John Hicks, and I would imagine that's exactly what you'll see again. John Hicks blocking, Pete Johnson carrying. That's a Woody Hayes combination.
And Woody Hayes signaled he wanted a timeout, and Cornelius Green comes to visit with the Buckeye coach at the sidelines with a 4th and goal in the ball, at about the 1.5-yard line. In a 21-20 football game, the Trojans leading with 2:15 to play in the 3rd period. Remember the date, January 28th, the National Football League Pro Bowl game on your favorite NBC station. And we remind you to stay tuned to your NBC station for the Orange Bowl game immediately following this broadcast. Lest we get remiss as the game moves along, we'll thank our broadcasting crew here at our NBC radio booth. Al Ashby, our producer and director, celebrating his 20th year of spending January 1st in Pasadena. Jerry Ness and Herb Panama are doing the spotting for the Buckeyes and the Trojans for us. Jay Berman, our statistician, and our in-the-booth engineer, John Pollock. And here come the Buckeyes. 4th down. Goal to go from the 1. Full house backfield. Green is asking the crowd for quiet, as is the Parker of the Trojans. I don't know how many Buckeyes made the trip out west or how many Big Ten fans followed the Ohio State team out. Would you have any idea? Would it be 10, 15,000 here, Tom Hamlin?
Not as many. We understood 3,000 took off in spatial planes. Around 3,000.
And this crowd, of course, is predominantly pulling for Southern California. 4th and goal. Green gives it to Johnson. Oh, Green keeps it himself and skips into the end zone. Oh, beautiful call. Everybody felt Johnson would get it, and Cornelius Green just skipped into Pater territory, and the Buckeyes have gone in front. In 4 plays. At the 2:12 mark of the 3rd quarter, Ohio State has taken a 26-21 lead over the Trojans. And apparently now the Buckeyes will go for 2. Conway is not on the field. Elia's in at the fullback spot. Bashnagel and Griffin. Full house backfield again. Oh, flag on the field and delay of game against Ohio State. That'll be a 5-yard walk-off from the 3 back out now to the 8. Griffin is coming out now. Bradshaw's in. Strick is in. Myers is out. And Conway's coming in. Strick, I guess, was the indication, Tom, that the Buckeyes would go for 1.
He snaps all back on punts and extra points.
All right, from the 15-yard line. The hold, the kick is up, straight. A flag on the play. The kick was good, but hold everything. Offside, USC. And now that'll give the Buckeyes that 5 yards back. Ohio State has the option. They can take the point or take the 5 and do what they had originally planned to do, and that is try to go for 2. It's 26-21. Ohio State is going to decline the penalty, is the indication I get first off. And that is the signal. The point is good. And here at the Rose Bowl, with a timeout and 2:12 remaining in the third period, Ohio State has gone in front again. They led 7-3, and now it's Ohio State 27, USC 21. And I think Tom Hamlin, for 105,000 fans here, and for those across the country, this game is everything it was billed to be.
Ohio State's playing their best game by far, and Southern Cal seems to have matured, and we're seeing more versatility out of Ohio State this afternoon than we have all year long. And Woody Hayes said he was on a mission to try to stop the Pacific 8's 4-game win streak, and he's opening up. And I think the real key to Ohio State this afternoon is Cornelius Green seems to have thrown off the shakiness. As the afternoon grows longer, I see him getting more confident in his ball handling and option play.
And certainly more confident in his passing, if confident is the right word to come up with. A 39-yard aerial to Pugic a few moments ago, brilliantly thrown and beautifully caught. Penalty against the Trojans will carry over to the kickoff now, and Conway will kick off from the Ohio State 45. 2:12 remaining in the third period. Tom Kelly with Tom Hamlin, the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. Conway's kick is high, end over end. Carter at the 1, back to the 5, the 10, 15, hurdles the man and gets to about the 20 before he's buried under a host of scarlet and gray. At the Trojan 20, it'll be 1st and 10 for SC. Luke was there along with Fox and Rule to make the stop. The ball just nosed up to the 20-yard line as the Trojans take over, trailing now 26-21. SC led 3-0, trailed 7-3. SC was in front 14-7, tied 14-14 at the half, led 21-14, 21-20. Now they trail 27-21. In motion, Swan. On the delay, the give to Davis at the 20, the 25, and over to the 26-yard line. Hit and stopped by Gradishar, the All-American linebacker for Ohio State.
Tom, this afternoon when Southern California kicked that first field goal, that was the first time this season the Buckeyes had ever trailed.
27-21, the Buckeyes with a 6-point advantage, and the ball is on the Trojan 26 for its 2nd and 4. Minute 37 remaining in the third period. Swan and McKay are split wide to the right. Swan in the slot. Hayden, the quarterback, takes the snap. Hands off. McNeil fights close to the 30 at about the 29. Stop was made in there by Van de Cree, who's been a bulwark on defense for the Buckeyes this afternoon. The officials mark it at the 29 and close enough for a measurement, though, Tom, your vantage point may be better than mine. I don't think SC's got it.
Looks a little short, but let's let the chains tell you, and if it is a first down, you hear the roar from the Southern Cal crowd. Chains are down and being stretched out on the 29-yard line. It's going to be close. And it's just a little shy. Pat Hayden shows John McKay about 6 to 8 inches with his hands held high, so it's right down to the third down situation.
Third and less than a yard, just inches. Davis comes in and McNeil out for the Trojans. Up front, Davis in at a guard spot for SC. Referee marks the ball ready for play. Third and less than a yard. McCaffrey up over the ball at center. High formation. Swan in the slot left, and McKay, the split end, is wide left. Hayden keeps it and pulls his way to the 30, just sneaking for the precious few inches he needed. And at the 30, he has a 1st and 10 USC. Well, the Trojans went from their own 16 all the way to the Buckeye end zone for their third period score. And now we're in the final minute of play here in the third period. 105,000, somewhat chilly, I've got to believe, fans looking on here in the afternoon moments at Pasadena. It is getting to be a bit dark. It's been cloudy and overcast throughout most of the day. However, to the far northeast, brilliant blue sky. McNeil in motion from the 30, 1st and 10. Hayden giving ground at the 20. Being right, fires upfield, incomplete. there wasn't an FC receiver within 10 yards of that ball. Van de Cree was in on top of Hayden, forced him out of the pocket. And for the most part this afternoon, Tom Hamlin, the pass defense against the rush to protect Hayden has been outstanding.
He's had plenty of time all afternoon, but the Buckeyes are putting on the pressure. I know Arnie Jones went in that time, so did Van de Cree, but this is an extremely versatile attack that young Pat Hayden is calling this afternoon. I tell you, I'm impressed. Southern Cal's pulling out all the stops. The Buckeyes' great defense is being stretched like it's never been stretched before. Great game to see.
2nd and 10 on the 30. The Trojans trailing Ohio State 27-21. Hayden back to pass. May run. No. Fires a quick pass out to Moore at the 34. He is nowhere near a first down. They'll mark it close to the 35. Steve Luke, the quarterback on the right side, came up very quickly and put a shoulder tackle into Moore at the midsection and stopped him straight up.
George Hill, the Buckeye defensive coordinator, does not like to particularly sack the quarterback. He feels when a defense is drawn in, that's when the broken play occurs and somebody gets off for a long. So Ohio State does try to contain around the line of scrimmage. He will have a lot of time, but they usually have the tackles rush the quarterback and try to contain.
It is 3rd and 5 at the 35, and before the Trojans can get another play off, we have come to the end of the third period. And so, here at the Rose Bowl, that's the end of the third quarter of play. The score, Ohio State 27, USC 21.
Give your hand to a friend. Give your heart to your love. But give your cold to contact.
Don't just stand around and sniffle. Do something about that cold. Early. To get the relief you want, up to 12 hours of continuous relief from just your sneezing, runny nose, and congestion, you'll need 6 cold tablets, 2 every 4 hours, or 3 ounces of nighttime liquid, 1 every 4 hours, or only 1 contact. Figure it out. 6 or 3 or 1. Take contact. Get all day, then all night relief.
Give your cold to contact.
6 or 3 or 1. When you catch a cold, take contact. Only as directed. Contact, number 1 in the world.
Trojans will put the ball in play at their own 35-yard line, a very key play in a football game filled with them. 3rd and 5 for the Trojans on their own 35 in the 4th and final quarter of play here at the Rose Bowl, about to open up. Hayden from the 35 is back to pass, fires over the middle, complete to McKay. He is dropped at the 38-yard line, a little down and in. Fox was ever alert for Ohio State. Cut his feet out from underneath him. McKay is very slow to get up. In fact, he may have a Charlie horse or injured his left leg. It is not going to be enough for the first down. The ball will be at the Trojan 38. McKay still being administered to on the field. And apparently SC now, trailing 27-21, will be forced for their second punt of the afternoon. Neil Colsey just ran the football right back down their throats the only other time SC had to kick. And Colsey's back now. With him is Jerome Davis, a freshman from Middletown, and Lucas is back in to kick, and Colsey stands at the Buckeye 21. It is 4th and 3 for the Trojans at their own 38. The snap. Lucas gets it and kicks it. It's a line drive. Spiral taken at the 28, 30, 35, and this time Colsey's dropped at the Buckeye 36. But again, Tom Hamlin, good field possession for Ohio State. Bruce came down to make the stop, and the Buckeyes take over at their own 36. 36-yard punt and a 10-yard return.
I'm surprised that Southern California would kick to Neil Colsey, but that was a low one, and Ohio State does try to get 10 yards out of every kick return. If they could do that, they feel fortunate.
They mark it at the 35, 1st and 10. Elia's in. Green, the quarterback. Check it. Johnson in for Elia at the fullback spot. Green's back to pass, being chased by Anthony. Gets away, rolls outside, still on his feet at the 30, 35, 38-yard line, and over the 40, and out of bounds at the 43. He's as elusive as a thief in the night. Paul ran him out.
He's taking over, Tom, and showing what he did earlier in the season against Michigan. He seemed to have the bit of the clamps and maybe became a sophomore again in that game, which was a 10-10 tie. But now he's opening up and showing exactly the dimension that allows Archie Griffin a little more time to run, because you just cannot give the option and the ad-lib play to Cornelius Green.
7 carries for Green, 45 yards, and one of those carries, the go-ahead Buckeye touchdown. Handoff, and Johnson is dropped at his track at about the Buckeye 43. Little or no gain at all. Monty Doris was there, along with Art Riley and Kevin Bruce. Marked the ball at the line of scrimmage, the 43, 3rd and 2 for Ohio State. The Buckeyes lead 27-21. 14 minutes remain here in the 60th Rose Bowl in Pasadena. Green hands off, and Griffin straight ahead is met by Sims, stopped shy of the Buckeye 45. Sims met Griffin at the Buckeye 44, stopping him there shy of the first down by about a yard. So it'll be 4th and a yard, and Ohio State will kick. Mike Keaton, number 5, comes on the field. This young man thrust into duty when the Buckeyes lost their regular punter earlier in the year, Tom.
Tom Spladanian, can you imagine Mike Keaton punting for the second time? This is the second time he's ever touched the ball in a varsity game, and it's the Rose Bowl.
Keaton gets the snap from center. Plenty of time and gets it away. What a fine high kick. Taken at the 21, the 25. Davis back up to the 28, and then he is unceremoniously dumped there by the Buckeyes. Trojans will put it in play. 13-15 remaining in the 4th period. Timeout here at the Rose Bowl, and the score, Ohio State 27, USC 21. First and 10 on their own 28-yard line. In motion Diggs, Hayden back to pass. Good protection. Fires down the sidelines. Incomplete. John McKay diving for it at the feet of his father coach, John McKay of USC, unable to grab it at about the Trojan 46-yard line. A down and sideline pattern as Hayden threw back to the short sideline. Diggs is in replacing Swan. McNeil comes in to replace Davis. 2nd and 10 Trojans on their own 28-yard line. Buckeyes lead 27-21. 2 third-period scores for Ohio State. 1 for the Trojans. A missed point after try. It could be an all-important 1 point by the time this 60th Rose Bowl is over. Again, Diggs in motion. Again, Hayden back. This time he hands off to McNeil. Over the 30 to about the 33. And there he's met by Gradishar. Cope was in on the stop also for Ohio State. Cusick. Middle of the Buckeye line on defense. Tom Hamlin, I can certainly understand how this Ohio State team defensively just sent fear into the hearts of everybody they played this season. What a truly great defensive club this is. They are tough against the rush.
The first unit gave up only 2 touchdowns all year long. The reserves gave up the other 3. They gave up a total of 5 touchdowns in the season.
3rd and a long 5 for the Trojans. Hayden is back to pass. Excellent protection. Screen effort, throws it incomplete, intending it for Davis. Out in front. front of him were McCaffrey, along with Joe Davis. Cope was there on defense for Ohio State, and it went off his fingertips incomplete. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification.
This is WMAQ in Chicago at 6:30.
Lucas is back on 4th and 5 to kick, gets the snap, gets it away, off the side of his foot, trying to kick it away from Colsey. Taken at the 37 by Ohio State, run out of bounds, across the 45 to the Buckeye 47. See if we can catch the number of the, looked like Davis. No. Frank, was it Frank?
Bruce Healy, I believe, carried that number 36, and that's the first time that's happened this year, but I don't blame Southern California for kicking away from Neil Colsey. There's a timeout on the field here at the Rose Bowl at Pasadena with the score, Ohio State's Buckeyes 27, the Southern California Trojans 21.
If you've been shopping for a new car, chances are you've been looking at small cars. Small cars from the standpoint of gasoline economy, and small cars from the standpoint of lower purchase price. Well, when you do your small car shopping, be sure you stop in at your local Dodge dealer's showroom. He's got a great small car that's right on target. It's the 74 Dodge Dart Convertible, 3 cars in one. It's a 5-seat coupe with plenty of room in the trunk. Add the optional fold-down rear seat, and the convertible gives you 6.5 feet of cargo space. It's like a small wagon. Add the optional all-metal sliding sunroof, and you've got all the sunlight, moonlight, and fresh air of a convertible. A Dodge Dart has a lot more going for you. Over 1 million satisfied owners, increasing resale value, economical slant-6 engine, electronic ignition. Just ask a friend about his or her Dodge Dart. I'm pretty sure they'll agree. In small cars, the Dodge Dart is right on target.
10, Ohio State in their own 47. Green is back to pass. Plenty of time. Runs out of the pocket. Fires downfield. Bashnagel has it, and he's downed on the Trojan 27-yard line. And for Green, 6 completions out of 8 attempts, 1 interception. Parker was there to make the stop. Buckeyes on the move again at the Trojan 27. Hand off to Griffin, trying to come outside, and the Trojans ride him down at the line of scrimmage as Green tried to sweep wide. Griffin tried to sweep wide to the left. Sims was there first, along with Parker coming up, and Richard Wood. Charlie Phillips. Most of the Trojans, they mark it for no gain and put the ball on the SC 28. 2nd and 10, the ball on the Trojan 28-yard line. 4th period, 11 and a half minutes to go, and Ohio State leads 27-21. Green, the quarterback. Hands off to Griffin, finds a hole, he's at the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, and down to the Trojan 2-yard line. And Archie Griffin explodes up the middle for Ohio State. Cobb saves a touchdown, but he may be just forestalling the inevitable. From the 28 to about the 2-yard line. And Griffin is down and apparently shaken up, and the officials are taking an official timeout as Griffin is shaken up. They will mark the ball at the Trojan 3-yard line. 1st and goal. Griffin in 20 carries, 96 yards. And as Tom Hamlin told you early in this football game, he has become the all-time single-season rushing man for the Big Ten Conference. A burst up the middle, a big hole, and with good speed, not great speed, but good speed, and such a great sense of balance, Griffin is most difficult to bring down. He's on his feet, and a roar from the crowd, and he's being helped off the field, but coming off mostly under his own power. I've got to believe just probably the wind knocked out of him, Tom.
I think so. He's only 5'9", 185. Listen to the crowd of Ohio State rooters for Archie Griffin.
Brilliant sophomore with 96 yards. It is 1st and goal, Ohio State. They lead 27-21, bidding fair now to blow the Trojans right out of this 60th Rose Bowl. Green hands off, and at about the 2-yard line, Ilya is met and stopped standing straight up. Going to be a pickup of no more than a yard. Monty Doris, the nose guard, middle linebacker for the Trojans, there to make the stop. Lippert has come on to replace Griffin in the backfield for the Buckeyes. Elmer Lippert is a 5'7", 180-pound senior from Sandusky. 2nd and goal at the 2 for Ohio State. Green, the quarterback. Full house backfield. Hands off and into the end zone. Ilya. And the Buckeyes have scored again. Gets his first touchdown of the afternoon for Ohio State. 52 yards, 5 plays. Buckeyes are going to go for 2. They lead 33-21. The snap. Green carries. He's in the end zone on the quarterback option. Here at the Rose Bowl, Ohio State 35, USC 21 with 10:38 to play. And if revenge was the motivation for Ohio State this year, although I'm sure they had 1 or 2 other reasons for wanting to do the Trojans in, the Buckeyes have played a superb game.
Well, they wanted to play well, Tom Kelly, and last year when the Buckeyes did come out against this great Southern Cal team, they had 5 knee operations at linebacker in the secondary, and Archie Griffin was a freshman, Brian Bashnagel was a freshman, and they felt they could have played better, but they were young, and this year they wanted to go out a winner.
Well, the Buckeyes with 3 second-half scores. The Trojans with 1 at a 14-14 halftime ball game. And now it is a full-blown Ohio State 35-21 margin as Conway is ready to kick off for Ohio State. And Davis and Carter wait for the Trojans back at the 5-yard line.
You know, I know they billed the Notre Dame-Alabama game for the national championship, but Ohio State felt with the Southern Cal's play against Notre Dame and, of course, against Oklahoma, this game should have settled the national championship.
Well, the Buckeyes, unbeaten once tied. The Trojans, 9-1-1. Conway's kick is high, end over end, coming to the 6-yard line. Picked up by Carter there over the 15, the 20, and up to about the 23-yard line. Hit and drop there. Trojans will put it in play at that point. 17-yard return from the 6 to the 23. Trojans first and 10 and in trouble with 10.5 minutes to play and trailing now by 14. We've had a missed point after try by Ohio State and a 2-point conversion. 2 field goals, a touchdown, and a 2-point try and conversion by the Trojans. So the game has had everything. And now the Trojans find themselves 2 touchdowns back as Hayden has it first and 10 at his own 22. Back to pass. Fires up over the middle for the sidelines. Looks as though it might have been tipped just a bit. McKay, the intended receiver, but over his head and out of bounds at the feet of Coach Woody Hayes. Luke and Middleton were there on defense. It'll be 2nd and 10 Trojans. SC has the ball on its own 22. The burden would really appear to be on Hayden now, Tom Hamlin, as the Buckeyes know quite well he's really got to go to the air to get back into this game.
I think the experts feel, though, that Southern Cal would be the best catch-up team in the situation. At least that's what they thought going into the game, that Ohio State would have to be out front.
McKay and Swan are wide left. McNeil is in replacing Davis. Hayden is back to pass. Protection breaks down, gives ground at the 15, rolling out, fires it upfield, completes to Swan at the 39. A leaping catch by Swan between defenders. Over to make the stop was Middleton, there to wrap him up. And the ever-present Neil Colsey. And Colsey is shaken up. It'll be a 1st and 10 Trojans and the ball on the SC 39. Trojans now with 10:19 to play. Clock is stopped for the injured player and the first down. Colsey is up. Limping off the field is Arnie Jones. And he's replaced by... Colsey's coming out, being helped out, but he's coming off under his own power. Davis comes in to replace him at a cornerback spot. SC in a position of catch-up now. Swan's caught 5, 47 yards.
Well, Hayden may pick on Jerome Davis, who came in. He's a freshman from Middletown, Ohio, and I suspect Pat Hayden will be made aware of that fact.
Somehow, Tom Hamlin, I believe that Woody Hayes' freshmen are pretty good football players. We'll find out if Hayden goes toward him. Pitches back to Davis. Student body right. Davis over the 40 to about the 44-yard line. Hit and dropped by Tim Fox, who had him in a sure tackle around the knees. See what the officials mark as forward progress. And Fox is flat on his back. And apparently in wrapping up Anthony Davis, he might have caught a shoe right in the breadbasket.
Oh, there's really some hitting out there. It's good and clean but hard. You can hear it up here, and this is the way football should be played, but I'll tell you, it's no place for faint hearts this afternoon on the Rose Bowl field. Ohio State leading 35-21, but Pat Hayden, with Lynn Swan in there and John McKay, he's got the home run power, and I know Ohio State's very well aware of that with 9:52 to go. A lot of time left when you have the capability of going 55 to 60 yards in one play, Tom Kelly.
Well, it is going to be an interesting nearly 10 minutes yet to be played in this Rose Bowl game, to be sure. I can't say quite enough for these two football teams and their respective coaches. And what a great job they've done in getting themselves and their players ready to play this granddaddy of all the bowl games. It has been certainly a crowd-pleasing, thrilling affair from opening kickoff to where we stand now. And Fox is... Well, we've seen, I think, 3 of the Buckeyes come off now in the last minute. Fox is really shaken up, Tom.
Yes, but Neil Colsey just went back on, so apparently he just had a glancing blow. But Ohio State loses the secondary. This could be good news for Pat Hayden and bad news for the Buckeye fans.
All right, the Trojans on their own 44 have a 2nd and 5. Davis is in, back of Manfred Moore. He's gone all the way at the fullback spot. Hayden back to pass, 2nd and 5, good protection. Screen pass to Davis, bobbles it, but he's at midfield and out of bounds at about the Buckeye 48. Driven out by Colsey, first down USC. So the Trojans to the Buckeye 48, 8-yard completed pass to Davis, who has 76 yards on the ground in 15 carries. Ken Kuhn comes in from Louisville, Ohio, 6'2", 228-pound sophomore linebacker. Going out is Cagle. McNeil is in for Davis. Clock shows 9:30 to play. Stopped with the out-of-bounds effort by Davis and the Trojans at the Buckeye 48. Hope wherever you are, you're having a happy and a safe New Year's Day and enjoying this radio description. Hayden hands off, and coming back inside is Moore to the Buckeye 45. Pickup of about 3, and Cope was there to make the stop. Grandaddy also to help out. Cope is a 6'2" junior from McKeesport, Pennsylvania. They're going to mark it right shy of the 45. We'll call it 3. 2nd and 7. Trojans at the Buckeye 45. This drive started back on the Trojan 22. Davis is in, replacing McNeil now. Trojans trailing Ohio State 35-21. The 9-minute mark of the 4th period here at the Rose Bowl. Hayden with McKay and Swan wide right, and Hayden's back to pass. Good protection. Dumps it off to Davis. At his knees, Davis took his eye off the ball at the line of scrimmage. Little swing effort coming out of the backfield, incomplete. You know, Tom, I guess it's almost impossible just to reach out and catch it without a glance upfield to see where you're going to go once you've got it.
You've got a lot of things to watch, and I'll tell you, I have to admire John McKay. They split in. He certainly doesn't hear footsteps behind him, and he's had a couple of hard hits this afternoon, too, just like Anthony Davis.
I think everybody playing in this game has paid the price. 3rd down for the Trojans and 7. The ball is on the Buckeye 45-yard line. Hayden back to pass again. Looking, may run. At the 45, at the 40. He's short of the first down as he spins down to the 39-yard line. But he's going to be shy of the first down as Cope and Decree make the stop. Put it at the Buckeye 40. It'll be 4th down and about 2 yards to go. I dare say that McKay will go for it. Trailing by 14 with 8:22 to play. Davis back in. I think he has no other recourse, Tom Hamlin.
He's going for it, and the bread and butter man, Anthony Davis, is deep.
All right, at the 40. Hayden back to throw. Rushed. Fires over the middle. It is incomplete, and interference is called on Colsey. Interference on Colsey, bringing, of course, a mixed reaction. It'll be first down USC on the Ohio State 29. Calls like that, really, you only please half the people.
Well, Tom, I'm not surprised. It was a good, certainly, position, and Colsey certainly hit. It was just a second, perhaps, but he hit just before the ball arrived, and it was jarred loose, and it was a good call.
It is such a judgment thing, the pass interference call, and yet the receiver must be protected, and yet the defensive man can't just stand and wait for the ball to be thrown and somebody to catch it. At any rate, 1st and 10 Trojans on the Buckeye 29. SC trailing by 14, and Hayden's back to pass. A rush, flips it out, complete to McNeil, upended as he gets to the 25. Grandaddy was there, along with Colsey. And McNeil, to his credit, over-the-shoulder catch, and as he grabbed the ball, hit right in the midsection, a jarring tackle, and down he went. Davis back in. Ball at the Buckeye 25, pickup of 4, 2nd and 6. 35-21, the Buckeyes lead by 14 with 7.5 minutes left in this football game, and USC in a position of playing catch-up. Ohio State with 3 second-half scores. The Trojans with 1. Davis tries to find running room, gets none. Dropped at the line of scrimmage. Middleton is there. At the bottom of the pile was Cusick. No gain. 3rd down. 6. The Trojans at the Buckeye 25.
Rick Middleton, who made that tackle as a sophomore, was a starting tight end. Woody Hayes does move his players around, and I'll tell you, you see why Middleton, Grandaddy, and Cagle, Ohio State feels that they have 3 of the best linebackers in the business.
105,000 fans here at the Bowl are convinced of it too, Tom Hamlin. All right, 3rd down. About 7 for the Trojans. Hayden back to throw. Rush. Going to be dropped. Can't get away. He is going to be all wrapped up and he'll be marked as down at the 40-yard line. Although Hayden, in his eagerness, at the last second with an arm free, tried to throw the ball and could easily have been judged to have fumbled it. At any rate, the Trojans will maintain possession, but 4th down and 21 yards to go at the Buckeye 40. Ken Kuhn was in very quickly, then Van de Cree, and the Buckeyes swarmed all over Hayden. One of the few times this year he's been sacked. Buckeyes came with a rush. SC's pass defense protecting Hayden has been more than superb throughout 73, and now the Trojans are going to have to take a timeout. 6 minutes and 20 seconds remain in this football game. Timeout here at the Rose Bowl. The score, Ohio State 35, USC 21.
Today's family car can build up more engine heat than a racing car going 3 times as fast. Heavy loads, turnpike speed, and the power equipment in today's cars build up severe heat that may rob your motor oil of its full power to protect your engine. For your peace of mind, be sure to use only a premium quality oil like Quaker State. It's refined from 100% pure Pennsylvania-grade crude oil to fight today's heat. For your peace of mind, specify Quaker State.
Dear sirs, a friend said you're asking for volunteers to write to people who never get mail. I have no money, but I can write letters, and I do know how much letters can help.
No matter who you are, we know someone who needs you. Call a volunteer service in your town or write to Volunteer, Washington, D.C. 20013. What we need, money can't buy. We need you. This public service message brought to you on behalf of the National Center for Voluntary Action and the Advertising Council.
Play resumes with 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the 4th period. Down by 14. It is a 4th and 21 for the Trojans at the Ohio State 40. Ever a do-or-die situation, this is it. Hayden is back to pass, firing long downfield. It is incomplete. Into and out of the hands of John McKay. Lynn Swan, not McKay, at the 15-yard line. Middleton was there, but a bullet-like toss by Pat Hayden was on the money, and Swan could not hang on at the 15, and Ohio State, leading by 14, takes over on their own 40, and with only 6:15 to go, barring a complete disaster from the Buckeye standpoint, I think they've got it wrapped up. 1st and 10, Ohio State on their own 40-yard line. Green hands off, and Griffin, who's back in, is up over the 45 to about the 46. Parker makes the stop for SC. Archie Griffin, shaken up, came off under his own power, now back in, and marked the ball at the Buckeye 45, a pickup of 5. Griffin has carried 21 times for 102 yards today. Johnson in at the fullback spot. 2nd and 5 at the Ohio State 45. Green turns, fakes the pitch, hands off, and Johnson pulls his way for the 1st down over midfield down to the Trojan 49. Sims makes the stop, and Sims may be knocked out. He is flat on his back right at midfield. Trojan trainers hustle on the field to administer to Jim Sims, who has been a standout on defense for SC, not only in this football game, but throughout his career. He's a senior from Los Angeles. Johnson with 3 touchdowns in this game and 91 yards in 20 carries. Sims is still down at midfield. Tom,
on next to the last carry by Archie Griffin, unofficially, we have him over 100 yards. He has 102 as kept by statistician Jay Merman. And that is the 11th time this season he's done it. 11 times. Each game, the young man's gone over 100 yards. Quite a tribute to him in the line up front. And John Hicks, who does a lot of the blocking for Ohio State, this is his 3rd Rose Bowl game. He missed 1971 because of a knee injury, a knee operation. And John Hicks, Ohio State's big tackle number 74, becomes the first player in Big Ten Rose Bowl history to play in 3 Rose Bowl games.
It's good to report that Jim Sims is up, and though he's being helped off the field, he appears to be all right. Sims is being helped off the field by the SC trainers and Dr. Semmel, team physician. It's a first down, Ohio State, and the ball is on the Trojan 49. 5:37 to play, 35-21. Ohio State leading USC, and for all intents and purposes, they indeed have wrapped up this 60th Rose Bowl. What a great football game it's been. Green from the Trojan 49, hands off, and Johnson pulls his way to the 47. A pickup of 3. I dare say, Tom Hamlin, that with 2nd and 7 now at the 46, Phillips making the stop. Ohio State will be content to use up the clock and the yardage to their best advantage as the seconds tick away. 5 minutes left.
Oh, Tom, that's a fine observation because Woody Hayes said he was out here in the Rose Bowl on a mission. You know, there was a lot of brouhaha in the Midwest after the Michigan-Ohio State tie. Ohio State was picked 6-4 to go, their second return, and he felt he was on a mission to redeem himself and the team and win this Rose Bowl.
Just in case Green might go to the air, Bartosik is wide to the right, but there's Griffin bursting to the 40, the 35, the 30, cuts back, he's at the 25, the 20, on his feet at the 15, the 10, the 5, touchdown Ohio State. What a run by Archie Griffin. What a fitting tribute to one of the best backs we've ever seen. 47 yards, and Griffin breaking tackles, reversing his field, hustled into the end zone, and the Buckeyes have turned it into a rout. And so Griffin, Tom Hamlin, goes close to 150 yards now or thereabouts, scoring a touchdown. And the Buckeyes now lead 41-21. And Conway is in to try for the extra point. 41-21. The kick by Conway is up. It's good. And here with 4:35 remaining in the Rose Bowl at Pasadena, Ohio State has taken a 42-21 lead over the Trojans and shades the 42-17. Revenge indeed must be sweet.
Well, these things go in cycles, and this is not the strong Southern Cal team they had last year, and the Buckeyes are more experienced. They don't have the injuries. But Griffin, unofficially, 148 yards and 22 carries, and on that last one, that's probably his best individual run of the entire campaign, Tom Kelly. He just followed his blocking beautifully. He has great balance, and he had some downfield blocking, and then when he cut up the middle, he went all the way. But this is a great Southern Cal team. I'll tell you, they just had some bad moments on not catching some of the high passes, and it's a great Buckeye performance, and I'm sure Southern Cal, with a few pass receptions here and there, it could be a little different.
Trojans led 3-0, trailed 7-3, led 14-7. At halftime, it was 14-all. 21-14, 21-20 SC, and now the Buckeyes with a second half splurge have turned this football game almost into a rout. The kickoff taken back over the 30, 35-yard line. Carter bringing it back to about the Trojan 36. Tackled there by Bruce Rule from Southfield, Michigan, one of the number of talented freshmen that Woody Hayes brought out from Columbus.
Tom, you mentioned about the Ohio State having revenge motive. I don't think so. John McKay has spoken at the Ohio State Clinic. I think the Buckeyes wanted to prove that the Big Ten was right by sending them out here in the middle of that controversy.
The Trojans with their best field position of this second half at their own 36. Hayden still throwing, complete to McKay at the Buckeye 44. McKay is hit and dropped there by Parsons and Neil Colsey. And McKay is ever so slowly getting up with just a trace of a limp. 20-yard completed aerial. Marked the ball for play at the Buckeye 45. Just inside. 1st and 10. Randall is in now, replacing McKay as the split end. Swan is in the slot on the right. And Hayden is back to pass. Trying to play catch-up. He's going to roll out of the pocket, flips it complete in the safety valve to Moore at the 40, spins down and fights his way to the Buckeye 36. Neil Colsey was there. They'll mark it at the 36, short of the first down, going to be about an 8 to 9 yard pickup, and we'll call it 2nd and 2 for the Trojans at the Buckeye 36. To the credit of SC, Hayden has not in any way given up, though he trails now 42 to 21. The air is still full of passes. Kenny Gray comes in to replace Moore. and the Trojans would desperately like to get on the board again. 3:30 in the clock moving now. Second down and 2 at the Buckeye 36. Hayden bobbled the snap, then darts back inside and dives for the first down to about the 33. Good presence of mind by this gifted young quarterback, and a whistle on the field, and the Trojans are asking for a timeout. 3:19 yet to be played in this, the fourth and final period. Quite dark here now at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, and the threatening clouds have all but dissipated, and it'll be a cold, albeit beautiful Southern California evening when it's all said and done. Tom?
Well, the Buckeyes are playing well, Tom, and maybe because it is the cold weather, this is the kind of football, the weather we're used to in the state of Ohio, and I don't know if our audience is aware of this or not, but Tom Kelly is the voice of the Trojans here in California, and I do the Ohio State games in Buckeye, and I'll tell you, we are used to cold weather, and frankly, the crispness of this air gave small concern to your coaching staff before the game. They wanted a warm 84, 85 degrees.
Well, I think it stands to reason, Tom, that playing in Southern California throughout most of the season, that the SC people would be better attuned to, say, a warmer type day than the Buckeyes coming out of the cold of the Midwest.
Yeah, the amazing thing is these are fairly young teams. Anthony Davis back, Pat Hayden back, Archie Griffin back.
You're looking ahead to 75, are you?
They may have a rematch, and again for the national championship.
McKay is back in now, split wide to the left. Time remaining, 3:19. The Trojans trying to get back on the board with a 1st and 10, and Hayden is back to pass. Sets up, runs out of the pocket, being rushed. He's hit and dropped. Thrown for a loss back on the Buckeye 44-yard line, as Van de Cree would not be denied, and Hayden is sacked again. I've got a moment, and I know we're going to be leaving the air quickly once this game is over, to thank our producer-director, Hal Ashby. Congratulate him on 20 years of Rose Bowl with NBC. Wish you another 20, Hal, if that would be your desire. Also, we'd like to thank our engineer, John Pollock, to Tom Hamlin, who worked on the broadcast with us and broadcast the first half for you. What a pleasure it was to share the microphone with you, Tom. Jay Berman, our statistician, and Jerry Niss and Herb Panama, our spotters. All right, the ball back now to the Ohio State 45, and Hayden, with a 2nd and 22, dumps off a screen pass for Moore at the 45, the 40, and he's dropped just as he gets over the 40, mark at the 40, as Cagle was there to bring him down. While we're passing along our thanks, Jerry Niss and Herb Panama, our spotters, and Jay Berman, our statistician, to the athletic director of Ohio State University, Ed Weaver, to the SID for the Buckeyes, Marv Homan, and his assistant.
That's Steve Snap there. My bad writing.
Steve Snap. Thank you very much, Tom. John McKay, of course, the athletic director at USC, and Don Anderson, the sports information director for the Trojans. Hayden from the Ohio State 40, his flag splatter is back to pass. It is complete at the 10, into the end zone. The Trojans have a touchdown, but hold everything because I don't believe it'll count. Obradovich got it. The Trojans were offside. What a bad bounce.
Oh, beautifully thrown. You know, Tom, you've seen the Trojans all year long. Is Hayden throwing just a little high, or are these jump receptions part and parcel of the Southern California attack?
I think, really, that this big Ohio State defensive line and rush, if you notice that Hayden sets up deep from the line of scrimmage, he'll go back 8 to 10 to 12 yards, and looking for the seams to pass through, and it could be that the bigness of this Ohio State rushing line has caused him to throw high in a couple of instances, although he's completed 19 of 37 for 191 yards. It has not been a bad day. It's just that Ohio State has had a superb day. McNeil and Moore are in, and Hayden is back from the 45. Lots of time. The long bomb deep in the end zone. Nobody there. Incomplete. And that gives you an idea of the strong arm of this young junior from Covina.
55 yards in the air. And incidentally, you know, when Ohio State tied Michigan at Ann Arbor 10 to 10, Tom Kelly, the team and the fans felt like they had lost the game. And where's the thinking? Talking to the Ohio State coaching staff, Woody Hayes, some of his assistants, Woody wouldn't say it, but they felt if Ohio State had gone ahead and beaten Michigan and won the Rose Bowl, he would have called this talented team his best ever. He feels the Rex Kern team of 1968 was his best, but they felt this team had the mark of greatness. They didn't want to exude too much confidence, but they thought the team had it, and I think it's repaying their confidence.
A second half splurge of touchdowns by the Buckeyes have them ahead 42-21, and Hayden is still throwing over the middle to McKay at the 25 and down to the 21-yard line. And with 1:34 remaining in this game, the Trojans will have a 1st and 10 at the Ohio State 21. Looking defensively, we talk so much about the offensive players, Tom. You're Randy Grandashar, 10 tackles, Fox with 10, Colsey with 9, Decree with 8. Living up certainly to their pre-Rose Bowl billing and credentials. For the Trojans, Sims with 14, Anthony 11, Wood 10, and Doris 9. Two outstanding teams, and the Buckeyes just not to be denied. A second half effort, not to be believed really, as they've rolled from a 14-14 tie to this impressive lead. Hayden throwing again, complete, dropped at a fumble, complete to Diggs, and he dropped it, and Ohio State has recovered at the Buckeye 5-yard line. Let's put the glasses on the man on the football. They say it's Gradishar. Well, maybe that's fitting, too. He's been everywhere all year for the Buckeyes.
Well, he came back from a knee operation, which almost ruined his career last year, and he did play in the Rose Bowl on one leg last year. After it was over, he was operated on. When I met Tom Kelly, I'd like to pass along an accolade to Coach Woody Hayes. He's 60. This is his 23rd season in a university that once was said the graveyard of coaches. When most men are thinking about retirement and going back, I think this man, Woody Hayes, at age 60, is so enthusiastic to excel, he reminds you of a graduate student out on his first job. He just bears down all the harder, and his team's reflected. He will not be gotten down. He does never seem to get behind the times, and he's enthusiastic about his game as though he were just fresh out of college. Great man.
I enjoyed hearing him speak yesterday, and I think I've enjoyed his visit out here. He has gone out of his way to please people and be ever so gracious. His diplomacy is certainly to be congratulated. What a fine representative the Big Ten sent out in the person of Coach Hayes and the Ohio State Buckeyes. Elia carries from the 5 up to the 8. 14-14 halftime tie certainly exploded. The Trojans scoring first. The Buckeyes came back to get 2 scores in the third period, and they've come on to score 2 more times here in the fourth. And now they have this insurmountable 42-21 lead, the ball on their own 8-yard line, and less than a minute to play, 42 seconds, and the clock ticking away. Full house backfield. Green hands off and pulling over the 10-yard line to about the 13. Elia again has 1 touchdown scored. Johnson has scored 3. Green scored 1 himself. Been a great day for the Buckeyes, Tom.
Well, Southern California gave Notre Dame all they wanted in South Bend. Notre Dame beat Alabama by 1 last night. Ohio State leading by 21. I think you're going to see Buckeye claims for number 1, and perhaps off of their performance, they have to have valid claim to it. USC's a great team.
Could be the last play of the 60th Rose Bowl. 10 seconds. Green hands off, and Elia carries slanting to the right side over the 15. Timeout. No. 4 seconds remain. Some of the players and some of the fans a bit anxious, but a whistle on the field. Crowd control is always a problem when you have 105,000 on hand, as we have here. But a timeout has been taken. The ball is marked and moved now the chain for a first down. Ohio State at the Buckeye 17. Now the clock runs out, and the 1974 Rose Bowl game is history as Ohio State defeats the University of Southern California 42-21 with 4 second-half touchdowns, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, while the Trojans could get but 1 in the third period to break a 14-14 deadlock. Tom Hamlin, our congratulations to the Buckeyes. Our thanks to you. What a pleasure it's been to share this Rose Bowl microphone with you.
Tom, nice to do it. Great game, 42-21, and this thing's going to go back and forth, you know it. Ohio State the winner, and they think they redeemed themselves by having the Big Ten select them to come out 2 years in a row when there was some perhaps brouhaha over it. And I think Woody Hayes wanted to prove that's correct, and the team was mission-bound, and they proved it today. And this is not the great team Southern Cal had last year. It's a fine one, but as they say, these things go in cycles, Tom. My pleasure to work with you and, of course, everyone around our booth.